the postseason drive towards a possible state championship, with the Mount Carmel Golden Aces entering with a record of a perfect 9-0. Today, the first round of the Illinois High School Association Class 3A playoffs. The Carlyle Indians call for this first round game. Hello again, everybody. Scott Allen here. There's nothing like this time of year at Mount Carmel High School. The playoffs beckon. This is what the town waits for 12 entire months. And now here we are. The bid for the state championship begins following another undefeated regular season. With me today is, of course, Rob Blackman, Rick Johnston, Kevin Madden is on the sidelines, and we have our whole TV12 crew here as well, and we're set for football. And Rob, there is nothing like it here in Carmel.
I tell you what, it was interesting talking to the head coach of the Carlisle Indians, Gary Wheeler, this week. He's originally a Flora guy. He graduated from Flora, and he said, I've been trying to tell my kids, Rob, what it's like in Mount Carmel, but they just couldn't comprehend it. I said, you're just going to have to wait till Saturday to see what it's like. You're going to have 5,000 screaming maroon and gold fans all over you. The stadium's huge. The atmosphere will be fantastic, and it's what high school football is all about, and you're exactly right. There's no better place to be on a playoff Saturday in Illinois than right here in our city of Mount Carmel.
The Aces, of course, enter with a perfect 9-0 mark, and Rick Johnston, this is a club from Mount Carmel that has done a lot this year, but it all means, other than the historical perspective, really almost nothing, because now the second season begins.
Well, I think it's almost an attitude, Scott, from the Coy game of last year. It was just unfinished business to take care of. And I think all year what the coaching staff has seen and people close to the team have seen is a group of kids that just go about, take care of business. At times have not been overly emotional about it. And especially early in the season, something that the coaches really wanted more was a lot more emotion. So from that standpoint, I think it's good. I think it's a good mindset as we head into the playoffs.
Kevin Madden is on the sidelines. Kevin's had a good look at this field, of course. He's done an interview already here. It looks pretty good, actually, Kevin, this field.
Hi, Scott. Again, this time of year, actually, it's almost in one of the better shapes it's been in all year. Of course, you got the bad spot in front of the Aces bench that's been there all year. But all in all, this field's in really great shape. Other than that, the field conditions today really should come into play. What could come into play is the chilly condition, but especially the windy condition. There's a strong wind blowing from our left to right as you're sitting in the stadium. So that could come into play in the Aces passing game today, but hopefully basically get things rolling on the ground early and really not have to rely on the passing game to win here today. The crowd right now, you look at the stands, look like there's 50 seats, but you look at also at the parking lot. The parking lot's full. In fact, they're already parking on Fairground Road out there. So I think a lot of people are just staying in their cars waiting for the game to start before they get out in this cold.
No, I don't blame them, I guess, for that.
No, not today.
Still 1-0 in this game. Rob, what do we know about Carlisle? I guess we do know one thing. They like to run the ball.
They do like to run the football, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One reason, they've got a sophomore quarterback by the name of Matt Heinzman. Just a sophomore. He's done quite well this season, has Matt, but still, he's just a sophomore, so they try to keep it simple and keep the ball on the ground. Now, a couple of young men to watch for this afternoon for our home fans. I want you to watch for Marvis McCline. They call him Marvelous Marvis, and for good reason. He is an outstanding football player. Marvis wears number 5. He's a running back who's rushed for 1,479 yards and 15 touchdowns already this season, which is not too bad when you consider he didn't start out as a running back. He started the season as a wide receiver, and their top running back, Charlie Baltimore, was hurt in the first game of the season. That forced Coach Wheeler to make some quick changes. He put McCline at tailback, and what a great move that proved to be for his ball club, as he's rushed for nearly 1,500 yards. Marvis's brother is a young man by the name of Tyrone McClain. He'll wear number 7. He's a 5'7", 125-pound wide receiver. Now, he is an outstanding football player, great wide receiver. Has good speed, good hands, but what Coach Wheeler says makes him so difficult to defend is he runs disciplined routes, and that's really the key to Tyrone McCline. But again, a sophomore quarterback in Grant Heinzman, 55 of 114 for 592 yards and 5 touchdowns this year. The bulk of their offense comes on the ground. Also, their fullback, Nick Turner, look for him to carry the ball, 446 yards rushing this season. But one Achilles heel that this Carlisle team may have, Rick, is the fact not a lot of depth. They got nine guys going both ways.
Well, we counted 24 kids dressed here today, and again, that over time, over the course of the game, I'm sure that's going to be a factor in the game. But this club was 11-2 last year. They got to the 2A semifinals, Rob, and I overheard the radio announcers here before we went on the air, and they're talking about Carlisle people weren't very happy when they woke up Sunday morning and they were bumped to 3A. They well intended. I thought they would be in 2A playoffs this year, so they come in here with something to prove.
Well, the Aces being introduced to this great crowd on Andrews Day. We mentioned a lot of tailgating going up, so there may be just about as many people still in their cars. Kevin Madden has been down this playoff road before, too, with the Aces over the years. And one thing we've said over and over and over again, the multifaceted offenses can do very well in the playoffs because eventually down the line, someone's going to stop your bread and butter, right?
Right, Scott. Right, Scott. And year in, year out, we've seen that given the playoff time that the Aces, when they have a great rushing game, they will get stopped and then eventually fold up the tent and head home. But this year's team is a lot different. If they get stopped by the rush, then they can go back and get things going on the pass. So as long as the wind didn't come into play in November, then we should be in pretty good shape. But I think this team also won't fall into the trap that maybe some other teams Mount Carmel has done. It may look ahead, may say, well, hey, we might play DuPont again in the third round. We might play this team, in the semifinal. I think this team is going to come out today, take care of business, take care of Carlyle, then worry about who they play next week. Will we play at home against El Dorado, or will we go to Bridgeport for their rematch against Red Hill?
That's what I was going to mention. Rick, it seems as if this team, you've been around them all week, this team seems to be pretty focused.
Well, again, I think that's a great quality to have. I think you want kids that it's really a mark of a mature team, and we've been through those battles. By the same token, Carlyle is a club today that a lot of these same kids were participating last year, and we're part of that run that they had a year ago. So, again, so a couple skilled athletes that they have. It's kind of interesting. Rob talked about what Coach Wheeler said about the younger McLean boy is that, he runs this one around. So what we're going to see today is a lot of short, quick hitters. Quarterback that takes a one-step drop. You're going to see them try to get the hands of the ball in the hands of the best skilled athletes early, and then they'll go play.
So one thing that we can certainly say is that the Aces, 14 consecutive years, are not exactly going to sneak up on Carlyle in this thing either, because Carlyle has been to the playoffs. It's a very fine athletic program at Carlyle for starters. But last year they were in the 2A playoffs, so they're no stranger to postseason. So the idea that there's in the postseason play isn't really right.
Yeah, and this is the second time in Carlisle's short football history that they've been to the playoffs, the third consecutive. Coach Wheeler took the Carlisle team to a state championship in 1988 in Class 2A. Some athletic fans around the state may remember that's the same year Carlisle won the boys basketball state championship in Class A basketball, and that being the spring of '89. So the success has been something they've enjoyed on the athletic fields at Carlisle High School. And again, they're well coached. Mr. Wheeler knows what the heck's going on. We're going to see a good ball club here today. Not a lot of numbers. We look here on the sidelines. They got 11 guys on the field, only 13 standing alongside the bench, but they're going to give you all they can. I believe they got more assistant coaches than they do players on the sidelines, probably.
Well, if we can stop the run of Carlyle, it's going to be a long day for the Indians. That obviously is the key. Carlyle will be kicking off from our right to left as you visualize. Deepest for the Indians is Marvis McCline. He does a little bit of everything. 5'7", 175. He's the kid that has 1,400 yards to his credit. Gabe Williams will be kicking off for the Aces. And the playoff season for 1996 is underway. Williams kicks it way away from McCline. In fact, it'll go out of bounds over near the 20-yard line.
Interesting. That's something the Aces actually worked on this week. Coach Hart, as a matter of fact, told Gabe, listen, I want to kick away from McCline. If you have to kick it out of bounds, then kick it out of bounds. We'd much rather them take the ball on the 35 than us give McCline a chance to have a return on us.
And so the Aces look like they are ready to kick again. Let's see what they're going to do.
Coach Wheeler's wanted to decline the penalty. Yeah, I think you're exactly right. Or is he going to take the penalty? I think he wants McCline to have the football, but no, they're going to put the offensive unit on.
Well, winding up first and 10 from the 35-yard line. The quarterback is a sophomore, Grant Heitzman, 6'1", 150, and they come out of the slot right formation right off the bat. Tyrone McCline, Marvis's junior brother, is the wide receiver. Now one man in motion, just McCline in the backfield. He gets the call, goes left side, bounces off one outside of the 40, 45, 50 down the left sideline. He could go all the way, 35, 30. Looks like he'll make it. He's ahead of Lewis. It'll be a touchdown for McCline on the first play of the game. 65 yards for McCline, and Carlyle is on the board just like that. Oh, Holy mackerel!
There was a great block on the outside that time as well by the wide receiver. Ran the man in motion, really got to our backer. Burbick wasn't able that time to step up and fill a hole. And boy, that kid is, you can see why they call him Marvelous Move.
Holy mackerel, the first play. He had great speed when he turned it outside and just outran Lewis the last few yards. He was untouched the last 40 yards. Now Carlyle goes for two. Heitzman throws a little slant pass. It's picked off, I think, for the Aces.
Oh, he got it.
They give him the catch. Looks like he wrestled it away from the Aces defensive back. Chris Hammond gets the two-pointer. Well, it looked like we had the ball, but Hammond came out of there with it.
Hammond just wrestled it away, yeah.
And so Carlyle suddenly has an 8-0 lead on the Aces, and we've played 11 seconds. 8-0 Carlyle, back in a moment. The whole thing is off.
Hello.
It's off, yeah. It was on.
Security Bank says we're your bank for life. We mean it. No matter where you are in your life, we're ready to help. With a full spectrum of banking, investment, lending, and trust services, we can do a lot for you now and in the future. Plus, we can provide the resources and guidance that suit your particular financial needs and plan. It's no wonder so many people have been our valued customers for so many years. Because at Security Bank, we're committed to being your bank for life.
You'll find us just up the road from the orchard. Can't miss us. Right across the street from the grade school. Or over on Washington Avenue, a stone's throw from Green River Road. We're Welborn Clinic, the Tri-State's finest personal physicians, working together to provide advanced, cost-efficient care. Right where you want us. Right in your neighborhood, including the heart of downtown Evansville. Welborn Clinic, your total healthcare system.
Our heating and air conditioning dealer is Dave Lennox.
Actually, that's Glenn Swartz. That's Swartz Heating and Air Conditioning.
People trust Dave to keep them comfortable.
Glenn Swartz.
It's not just that Dave has the best equipment.
This is Dave. I'm Glenn.
He also passed that Lennox Quality Dealer Standards program.
Dave, Glenn. So,
If you've got a problem, call Dave.
or call Swartz Heating and Air Conditioning.
Lennox, 5,000 independent dealers, 100 years of service. One less thing to worry about.
Attaboy, Dave. Glenn.
Hey, Aces fans, after the game, meet your friends at Subway, 809 Walnut Street in Mount Carmel for a delicious sub sandwich or salad. They're open until 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturdays and until midnight Sunday through Thursday. Subway offers over 14 different varieties of 6-inch or foot-long subs, and you can create your own special sub by choosing from 8 different veggies free of charge. All subs are made with fresh baked bread, and Subway has 6 subs that have 6 or less grams of fat. Any sub can also be made as a salad. Subway, 809 Walnut Street.
Listen to what people are saying about our state representative, John O. Jones.
And we found John Jones to be a friend of Edwards County schools and education.
I'm glad that John Jones is taking the initiative to step forward and get our schools back in shape like they should be.
We have found John to be extremely easy to work with.
I don't know what we'd do without John Jones. He's been great for the community, and I'm proud to be a friend of his.
Oh, John is our friend in the Capitol.
The Wabash County Democratic Central Committee encourages you to go to the polls on Tuesday and cast your vote for Wabash County Commissioner candidate Charles Sanders and other Democratic candidates. From the courthouse to the White House, a strong group of Democratic candidates are asking for your vote. Please help them help Wabash County, Illinois, and all of America. If you would like a ride to the polls on Tuesday, please call 262-7095. This is an important election. Please vote. Vote Democratic. This message brought to you by the Wabash County Democratic Central Committee. Brenda M. Sawyer, Chairman.
Well, the scoreboard has gone off here at Riverview Stadium. Right now, Tim Locks, the scoreboard operator, talking with the official about how we're going to deal with this situation. The scoreboard has gone off. It was on after the touchdown because I looked over the clock. It said 11:49, but it has since gone off all the way. It's kind of tough to see, but it's not too easy. It's not too hard to tell it's off altogether.
Well, what an outstanding run by McCline that time. And again, we mentioned in the outset what an outstanding player he is. Great speed. And really all Carlyle does offensively is they try to zone block up front and let McCline pick his holes. It's not really a basic where you're going to run here to a 2-hole or a 4-hole Marvis. You get up in the line of scrimmage, you find the hole, and wherever you can bounce it out, you do it. And he did just that. Bounced it to the outside and raced 65 yards for a touchdown. Awful tough to defend that kind of speed. The Aces really going to have to knuckle down on defense and keep him contained.
Well, we have played 11 whole seconds. Carlyle leads this playoff game 8-0. The Aces, though, will get the ball now. Deepest for Mount Carmel looks like Hodson and Williams. They're backing around their own 15-yard line. Here's the kick by Justin Brothers. Little short number over the middle, though. Williams will pick it up after Holston shot on the 25, 30, 35, 40. He almost broke it. Over the middle, 38-yard line is where Gabe was dropped. That's where the Aces set it up 1st and 10.
Good field position for the Aces to start here at their own 38-yard line. Let's see if the Aces offense can return the favor.
And we're almost set. Chris Rafferty brings the club up. Craig Snow's the wide receiver to the left side. And it is Casburn, a wing back in motion, and Rafferty keeps after faking to Swanson. He turns it up, gets to around the 42. A gain of about 4 on the carry, 2nd down.
Well, this may be one of these games, guys, where we see a lot of offensive points put on the board. Both teams' offense is very high potent. This could be a high-scoring one.
And now here is Rafferty sending it down, sends Casburn in motion again. He wants to throw on 2nd down. He's got plenty of time. Fires. The pass is incomplete, intended for Grant. He wants a call from the official as the defensive man, John Clever. He says interfered with him, and it's not the case. 3rd down. So it'll be 3rd down and a long 6.
Well, the best lineman that Carlyle has is this Brothers kid, number 68. He can really, he gets good penetration on defense. Offensively, he really does a nice job as well.
Rafferty back to the line. He has Snow, wide receiver to the left side. He has Casburn again as a wingback. Just one setback now. That's Swanson. There's Lovelace. In formation to the right side, and Rafferty wants to throw. Wings it left for Snow. Leaps up, and pulls it down for the 1st down of the Carlyle 43-yard line. Look who he's up against. Number 7, Tyrone McClain. 5-5 against Craig Snow.
Snow's got a foot and 3 inches on him, and that's automatic when you're doing it that way.
Well, they're going to have to change that matchup. We're just going to throw these things all day. It was an easy catch for Snow. 1st and 10, line of scrimmage now the Carlyle 43-yard line. The backs are in the bone now. Handoff, and Casburn is drilled on the left side. He gets the progress a couple yards to the 41. Brothers helps him up after making the stop, 2nd and 8.
That's a huge disadvantage that we can take advantage of whenever they have McClain on Snow at 5'5", trying to guard 6'8". Let's see if we try to utilize that a lot today.
It is Swanson and Steckler on the right side of the line. Horrell at center, and the flags fly before Rafferty takes the snap. And it looks like it goes against the Aces.
I think one of the Aces offensive linemen put his hand in the neutral zone, and that's what it's going to be.
Josh Horrell to center, the 5-yard walk-off against the Aces. Takes it back to the 46, creates now a 2nd down at about 13. Good crowd here today. Great crowd down below as well, but the stands are almost full. Now the Aces line it up, 2nd down. Here's Rafferty going to throw. Over the shoulder grab, he can't make at around the 25, incomplete this time. Carlyle had a little bigger kid on him, John Clever.
Well, it looks like they're just going to go straight up man-to-man on Craig. With last time they went in a single back field with a single man in the backfield, they really went to that zone package again.
Tried to make the over-the-shoulder grab, but could not. It is 3rd down now, 3rd and 13. Line of scrimmage is the Carlyle 47-yard line to this short side of the field. Rafferty sets it up, has Lovelace a wing back to the right side. Snow, the wide receiver, left. One setback, Swanson, and Raff's going to throw. Wings it 4. Lovelace on the flat on the right side, and he can't come up with it off his hands, and incomplete. It'll be 4th down.
Well, it was really interesting. You know, the first time we came out with a single back set, their sidelines yell on hawk package, which is very similar to what we do. And Craig has the small kid on him out there in the corner who came out in the same look, and they did the same exact thing again. I think that's something our coaches will pick up in a hurry.
Well, I don't believe we've come out throwing like this all year long. It is 4th down, and Snow now is going to give it up on the punt. He gets off a good punt, and it will come to Clever on a bounce and around his 10-yard line. Looks for some running room, tripped up and dropped finally around the 16-yard line.
Flag down.
Flag on the play back here to one of the...
he's stuffing it back in.
Oh, okay. I didn't even see the flag.
He's just blowing his nose.
Well, this is the cold and flu season, so... 1st and 10, we don't have a clue how much time's left, but Rick is seated right next to Tim Locke, so we got to get a good feel from Tim.
I'll tell you what, Tim does a nice job. He's got a stopwatch in one hand. There's a built-in clock on the clock mechanism up there, so he's double-checking himself as he goes.
Well, there is no one better at his job in Southern Illinois than Tim Locke in Mount Carmel. There's little doubt about that.
Don't say Southern Illinois. The entire state.
1st down, and reverse to McClain. He gets by 1, steps out of 1, tackle, then he's brought down around the 19-yard line by McNew and a host of others.
Played well that time by Gabe Williams. I think they're going to get a holding on Gabe. Gabe, a strong safety, stayed home. He played it perfect, and there's going to be holding because the one man who was isolated on Gabe had to drag him down by the jersey. Holding, great play by Gabe Williams. He could have got sucked in on a misdirection, but stayed at home, played it as perfect as you can play it, and Gabe gets a big penalty there against the opponent.
So the walk-off takes the ball all the way back to around the 9-yard line, 8-yard line, somewhere around there. And now it's 1st and 15, 20 rather, for the Indians.
This Carlyle team's tough to defend. The Aces coaching staff said after breaking down game film, Carlyle has 50 different offensive sets you have to try to defend. 50 sets. That's a lot for high school football.
Strong side right now, one man in motion to the left side, and there is McCline trying to step to the middle, and he kept his balance for a moment, then finally was dropping around the 13-yard line. Man, that kid is dangerous even on an up-the-middle play.
Oh, he's always keeping his feet churning. That's the thing about him. He always keeps those feet running. Reminds you a lot of Johnny Lang for us last year. The feet were always churning. Well, you talk about all the different sets, Rob. The people and our fans that have played football, which is a lot here in Mount Carmel, don't understand when I say that even with all those different sets that they use, it's still a lot of wing tee principles. And there's a lot of, like you say, zone blocking, and the scheme of things, it still resembles wing tee teams.
Now the Indians bring out receivers left and right, a slot to the right, and the sophomore quarterback Heinzman sets it down with McCline, the lone setback. It is 2nd down and 13, and no, it's not. This time it's Nick Turner. He was the lone setback, and he spins his way over the left side to around the 21-yard line. That'll rip a 3rd and long for Carlyle.
First time we've seen the big fullback carry the ball here this afternoon, and boy, you talk about McCline and his feet keep churning. The coaches said after they watched him on film, even when he's down with 3 guys on him on the ground, his feet are still moving. And he just likes to keep those feet turning. He's a tough guy to bring down.
Well, the Aces don't want to let Carlyle off the hook here. It was 1st and 20. Now it's 3rd and only about 7. Let's see what the Indians come up with here. Wide receivers Clever to the right side. McCline, Tyrone goes that way as well. Now we've got an I backfield set with Turner the fullback for McCline, and here's the handoff to McCline. Steps, and we have it! Fumble on the play! The Aces have it, and it's Burbrick that comes out of there with it.
And Burbrick, somewhere, I don't know who jogged the ball loose, but Burbrick was right there to fall on top of it. That's a huge turnover for the offense.
The Aces have the ball at the Carlyle 21-yard line. After the turnover, Indians lead 8-0 here. The Aces now set it up. They sputtered on their first drive, Carmel did, but now they have a golden opportunity. Here's Rafferty, fakes one way, options. Oh, he's poked down beautifully by Turner of Carlyle for a loss on the play back of the 23. Good defense. And it's 2nd and 12 now.
Clock's working fine here.
Oh, good.
That cheese was on the duty there, huh?
He got her going and placed the fuse or whatever, and here is Swanson breaking free down near the 10 inside the 8-yard line down to around the 7. The Aces went right to work, and that's a first down for Mount Carmel 2, the Carlyle 8.
First time we've seen Justin Swanson touch it today. That fullback trap, he kicks it right up the middle, 17-yard gain.
Rafferty calls from there. It's 1st and goal, and Swanson gets the call. He stacked up over the right side. Maybe got a yard to the 7. It'll be 2nd and goal from there. I can't tell you. We have 7:55 to go in the first period. 8-0 Carlyle. They scored on the first play of the game. 65-yard run by McCoy. Now Rafferty sets it down. And hands off Fisher. Gets the call, and he's dropped it around the 5. Found it going tough to the left side. Brothers is there on the stop along with Nick Turner.
Mark Fisher getting a chance to touch it as we went with the big backfield that time with the senior offensive, defensive tackle in the backfield. We've seen that many times this year.
The Aces are still 7 yards away from the goal line. And it's 3rd down, and Rafferty looks like he wants to throw. Wings it for the end zone for Snow. It's incomplete. Incomplete, maybe tipped away on defense.
Yeah, I think it was McCline, wasn't it, that got a hand on it, stepped in front of Craig right at the last second. Good play there by McCline at the defensive back.
And it is 4th down. A moment ago, we credited Fisher to the 5. We marked him at the 7. Now Carlyle calls timeout. They see something, and all the coaches are jumping up and down. And will they get the timeout? Yes, they do. We've got a break. 7:13 to go. First period. Carlyle 8. Mount Carmel nothing. Back in a moment.
best in checking, look no further than the Bank of Mount Carmel. Whether you want the convenience of free checking with unlimited withdrawals, the popular Bank Club account with its many benefits, or an interest-bearing Now or Super Now account, we have a checking option that's just right for you. Bank of Mount Carmel even offers the special Star account based on money market interest rates. When you need checking with the best flexibility and benefits, look for the sign of complete friendly banking services. Look for Bank of Mount Carmel, located at the corner of 6th and Market Street, Mount Carmel, Illinois.
For over 70 years, Mount Carmel Sand and Gravel has served the Wabash Valley area with all grades of sand and gravel. Since starting in 1924, Mount Carmel Sand and Gravel has added concrete, oil and chip, and a variety of crushed stone to their product line. And now Sand and Gravel is continuing to grow. Their road construction division has pioneered a specialty in soil stabilization that has taken them to hundreds of projects in 8 states. Whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial, call Mount Carmel Sand and Gravel.
One but 2 quarter-pound beef patties, 3 slices of melted cheese, 8 strips of crispy bacon. They say the world is getting smaller, but what's really happening is that the
Here we go. Here we go.
What will they think of it? Plenty of ham, bacon, and cheeses.
When I was a young man serving my country in Korea, I had the opportunity to work in an orphanage for homeless children. That experience helped me decide to become an educator because those children trusted me to be there for them. Now, as a member of Congress, I think my most important work, whether it's trying to balance the nation's budget or reading a book to my granddaughter, is still being there for the children.
Listen to what people are saying about our state representative, John O. Jones.
And we found John Jones to be a friend of Edwards County schools and education.
I'm glad that John Jones is taking the initiative to step forward and get our schools back in shape like they should be.
We have found John to be extremely easy to work with.
I don't know what we'd do without John Jones. He's been great for the community, and I'm proud to be a friend of his.
Oh, John is our friend in the Capitol.
All right. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Rafferty tried to draw Carlyle off, could not. Now steps up, throws one for the end zone for Snow. He reaches up. He got it! Touchdown! Yeah! Craig Snow reached up on that high lofting pass from Rafferty and caught it for the touchdown. 7 yards, and the Aces are on the board with 7:08 to go in the first period.
Well, there we just take advantage of the height situation. We just threw the lob to Craig there in the corner. They had him double covered, but when you got guys 5'5" and 5'7" trying to cover him, you're not going to do yourself much good. Craig, an outstanding athletic move for the catch.
Now the Aces go for 2. Casper gets the ball on the way in for the 2 points, and so that negates the conversion, and Carlyle is left clinging to an 8-6 lead. So the Aces take advantage of a Carlyle fumble and march 22 yards for the touchdown. It's 8-6 Carlyle. Back to the stadium in just a moment.
Okay, it's about 7. What's the clock say? 7 what? 7:08. 08. 7:08.
You gonna make her?
I can't write. Okay. Here we go.
Done first quarter?
No, yeah.
Back here at the stadium, Gabe Williams on the kick, and it is retrieved by John Kleber on the left side. He goes to around the 34-yard line. That's where Carlyle takes over. And Carlyle lines it up from there, 1st and 10 at the 35. 8-6 Indians lead.
You know, Scott, it looked like after we did score there on the touchdown that Coach Gary Wheeler wasn't very happy with the defensive coverage, obviously, because he called timeout to specifically talk about that one play.
So So here come the Indians setting it up now. A slot to the right, wide receiver also to the left side, one setback, and now Turner goes in motion. And Heitzman calls and hands off to McCline. He dives over the left side for a yard or two to around the 36-yard line. He knows what to do with the football, even in tight quarters. Second down and 8. Well, there's nothing more picturesque than sitting at the top of Riverview Stadium on a Saturday afternoon, seeing the scenery that you do. It is really quite a sight here during these fall afternoons. Now Carlyle brings it out second and long, slot to the right, and another wide receiver left, backs are in the eye for Heitzman. He gives a deep pitch. McCline tries to sweep this way, and he's got some open running room to the 45. Finally, the Aces turn back and grab him down. Lewis and Farmerick and D on the stop of the 48-yard line. First down.
Well, that time our strong safety, Gabe Williams, got sucked in a little bit. Normally, strong safety's got to stay outside and force everything back in, and Gabe got blocked down inside, and that allowed McCline there to turn the corner and get the first down.
So it's a 1st and 10 now for the Indians from their own 49-yard line. 8-6 Carlyle. The Indians with the lead here. This is the 14th consecutive year the Aces have been in the playoffs, a streak that began in 1983. That's the second longest streak in the state, by the way. It is 1st and 10 now for Carlyle. And there's a handoff. And over the left side goes the ball carrier. That's Turner on the carry over the 50 to around the 49, and Mount Carmel, a gain of 2.
I really like the way Coach Wheeler mixes it up. Just when you keep your eye on McCline, he gives it to Turner, the big fullback, and he's really doing a good job of mixing things up, using a lot of motion, making the Aces defense have to stop and think about what's going on. And so far, a pretty good job of handing the ball around, giving everybody a chance for the Carlisle Indians.
Well, Wheeler has some friends from Florida here. Of course, he is a Florida native. Tom Welch, former basketball coach of the Wolves and now athletic director at Florida, here in attendance today. Among other Florida faithful. McCline hit early by Steckler, falls forward. They're going to mark him down around the 47-yard line, a gain of 2. Maybe Berwick on that one. Both Berwick and Steckler were there. 3rd and 6 right now.
Again, you see McCline's hit at the line of scrimmage. He just keeps those feet churning, getting every little bit he can. He gets just maybe 2 yards. He could have very easily been stopped at the line of scrimmage. So I really like this McCline at the running back.
And we are near the end of the first period now. It is 3rd and 6 for Carlisle. They send the slot to the left right now. Wide receiver to the right, backs in the eye for Heitzman. He calls the signals, takes his time, and hands off to the back to the tailback. He's drilled for a loss. The Ace is all over him that time, and McCline early ground down in the middle. Steckler gets up almost last, along with Berwick on the bottom of the stack. 4th down and 7 now.
Well, that's just a great push by the Aces defensive line that time. Snyder and Fisher up there and McKinney in there at nose tackle. They just got a huge push up front. I believe maybe Steckler's in there at nose tackle now. Got a nice push up front and really shut things down at the line of scrimmage.
DeVoe and McNew are at the defensive end. There's Fisher lining it up right up top. And now it is 4th down and 7. And Carlisle's going to give it up. Here's Turner with the punt. Kind of a slow kicker, isn't it? We may get one for the end of the day. Who knows? And kind of bounces straight up in the air at the 30, and will be down at the 31 by the Indians. That's where the Aces take over now, late in the first period. We have 3 minutes and 48 seconds to go in the first frame. Carlisle leads 8-6.
Important for this Aces offense now to come out and get another established drive and get some points. We do have one score to report to you. Red Hill leading El Dorado 20-6 with 6 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the first half. The Salukis on top of the Eagles.
All right, the Aces, Chris Rafferty lines it up, sends Casburn in motion, handoff, and a stack up the middle. Not much for Swanson, maybe a yard to around the 33-yard line.
Swanson picks up about a yard, maybe 2. Justin, 17 yards on 3 carries here early in this one.
2nd down and 9. Rafferty sets the club down, sends Casburn in motion, and this time Chris keeps it himself and reaches out to the 35-yard line. Not much there. Carlisle really toughened it up inside. It's 3rd and long.
I tell you what, they're just daring us to throw it to Snow again. You're right. I was going to mention that same thing. They've said, we're going to take away the fullback in the running game. You're going to have to throw it to beat us. And that looks like to be the defensive game plan of the Carlisle Indians.
So Rafferty says, well, if you insist. Snow's wide to the right. Loveless flanked out to the left. And there is Rafferty back to throw. And he fires for Snow. He's got it. First down. at the 48-yard line. This time, though, he had Clever on him. A little bit taller as Clever at 6 foot. Still a first down catch of 17 yards by the Aces.
Chris Rafferty, 3 of 7 for 34 yards, and Craig Snow has caught all 3 of the balls so far, has caught all 3 of the balls.
13 yards on that reception, and first and 10 for the Aces. Line of scrimmage, the 47-yard line. And now we've got the official. I think we've got an equipment problem back here with who? Swanson?
Yeah, well, we got a break in the action. Your Aces trivia question for this afternoon, brought to you by Bluff City Fitness. The Aces have played a team from the Cahokia Conference only one other time in their history. Who was that team and what was the year? We'll give you the answer at halftime.
First and 10 Aces. Lovelace checks out wide to the right side. Snow wide receiver to the left. Casburn is your wing back. One setback for Rafferty. He is changing up here at the line, calling out the signal. Swanson's the setback. First and 10, let's see what he does. He hands off to Swanson, who powers up the middle for just a yard. And around the 49, that was a nice idea by Rafferty, but some good tackling by the Indians prevented Swanson from getting a little more. Second and 9. Rafferty looks things over now. Going is tough up front for the Aces. And here's the pitch to Swanson to the right side, and he's tripped up at around the 50, and Carlyle with another nice tackle over there, and McCline was one of those. It'll be third and long now.
That's that fullback sweep. We haven't seen that a lot this year. It's just been put into the offensive arsenal in the past few weeks, but trying to utilize Justin Swanson's speed a little bit more and get him to the perimeter more than just inside the tackles all the time.
Well, we've had more third and long situations already today than we've had in entire games in the past.
Guess who this is going to?
Rafferty sets the club down and rolls after a fake. Wants to look for Snow. Window instead wings it. Short to Swanson. He's got it. 45, 40, 39 of Carlyle. First down for the Aces and a gain of 12 to the fullback Swanson.
Great call that time. Just a fantastic call offensively, and Justin's wide open on the flat that time. That's Justin Swanson's first pass reception of the year.
Wow.
So
out of the backfield he comes.
We'll utilize the fullback on the pass that time.
First and 10 for Mount Carmel now. They line it up with a wing to the left side and a wide receiver. Oh, Casburn cut down as soon as he got the handoff. Nicely done that time by Paul Johnson, a 245-pound tackle for Carlyle, and a loss of 2 on the play.
That was a heck of a play by Johnson to fight off the block of Seth Swanson and blow that whole play up. That was a heck of a play by the defensive tackle.
Second down and 12. Line of scrimmage to the Carlyle 41-yard line. Aces trail 8-6 late in the first period. Here's the deep pitch. Casburn trying to get some money. Oh, my! He's cut down. Another nice tackle by Carlyle at around the 44, and I don't know how B.J. Gooden fought off the would-be tackle of Swanson over here, but he did, and managed to grab a hold of the ball carrier. Another loss, 2 in a row, third and 14.
Well, the defensive line of Carlyle really playing their rear ends off. They're blowing plays up, getting to the perimeter, making things happen.
And Rafferty sets the club down, backs up in third and long, has time, rolls to the right. He may run. No, he fires long for Green. Wide open! Off his hands and incomplete. Raff just had a little too much on it. Oh, my. Grant was wide open at the 10-yard line. Fourth down.
A little too much juice. I think Chris was surprised he was so wide open, and Chris gave him just a little too much. And you saw as soon as Chris threw it, he kind of raised his hand up like, oh, how did I miss him? And Grant kind of slowed a little bit there as well. Yeah.
Let's go to the sideline, Kevin.
That one a little bit. It looked like they just kind of sailed on Chris. I think that's what Chris was reacting to.
And the wind was behind him on the throw, too.
Yeah,
good point. Difference right there.
Good point.
Now, here's Rafferty on fourth and long. He looks like he wants to throw again. He's hit as he delivers. The passes, and almost picked off by McCline. I guess he was looking for Snow, but Raff felt the pressure and uncorked it. So, Carlyle gets the ball on the change of downs. It will be first and 10, and they've got a good start. Line of scrimmage will be their own 43-yard line. We're down to 40 seconds to go in the first period. Carlyle leads the Aces 8-6.
You know, Rob, one of the things you talked about was it's the first time that we've thrown to Justin this year. One of the things I'm sure we'll get to talk about here in a little bit is the preparation, the scouting reports, and how computers have really become part of this whole thing. You got that right.
Receivers left and right for Heisman, just one setback, and that is Turner. He gets the call. Blows by 1, 2, 3, tackle, flag down. Turner's finally cut down on the 34-yard yard line.
I think we're going to have an illegal block below the waist. One of the down linemen cut Aaron Burbick, who's a linebacker. That's illegal. You cannot cut anyone who is off the line of scrimmage, and I think that's what we're going to have right here.
And it's going to wipe out about a 22-yard run by the ball carrier. Let's see what they call.
And that's what it was, yeah.
Carlyle.
And we've seen that on videotape, Rick, where the Carlyle used an offensive lineman to cut people out of the box, which that is illegal. Red Hill did that to us a lot this year as well. You cannot cut on the linebackers. You cannot cut on anyone outside the tackles on the line of scrimmage. Aaron Burbick is off the line of scrimmage at a linebacker. That's an illegal block. A great job by the officiating crew to pick up on that.
A lot of times we walk up in there so tight, too, that the officials just don't see that situation. You know, that's why the ISSA and their wisdom, puts these great crews together when it comes to playoff time.
And you know Coach Hart and the staff didn't put a bug in the officials' ears about that block either.
No. We just looked down at Eric Towle and said, hey, we can't do that anymore. And got an affirmative response from the 5'11" junior. Now this walkout's going to pin Carlyle back inside its 30 at the 29-yard line. So instead of being first down to the East's 35, it's first and 10, first and long. First and, what about 25 from their own 29? So here come the Indians. They line up McCline wide left, Clever wide right. One setback for Hanksman, the sophomore. Look where Burbick is. Way out. That's DeVoe trying to make the interception, but the pass is complete to McCline, and he's finally run down. Or was that Burbick out there? Did somebody react?
Burbick and DeVoe was actually first on the play, and then he missed, but got back in the tackle. But a good job of forcing him back inside.
Well, that's preparation there. You saw Sammy DeVoe, as soon as we recognized that he's out there in the flash, Sammy goes running, and great preparation that time.
Still a pickup to the 32-yard line, a gain of about 4 on the play. That's the end of the first period. The score, Carlyle 8, Mount Carmel 6. Back to the stadium in just a moment.
Okay, spot 8.
90 years of service to the community for any business is impressive, but when you consider a bank that's been around for 90 years, it's nearly unheard of. But at the First National Bank of Allendale and Mount Carmel, we've survived the Great Depression, 2 bank robberies, and of course, a horrific tornado. But through all of that, the First National Bank has pulled through and is now Wabash County's only independent bank, investing your deposits with local people. Stop by today and experience the personal approach to banking. The First National Bank, across from Target Mount Carmel and on Main Street, Allendale, member FDIC.
When it comes to your vehicle, there are 2 names in Mount Carmel you need to know: Shocks Body and Glass and Deck Hill Battery. At Shocks, Paul Rossignol and the crew offer free estimates on your damage, then the expertise and know-how to fix it right the first time. Deck Hill Battery is your all-pro auto parts store, stocking a full array of auto parts. Whatever you're looking for, Deck Hill is bound to have it. When it comes to your car or truck, don't settle on second best. Trust Shocks Body and Glass, 315 West 6th Street, and Deck Hill Battery, 305 Market Street, Mount Carmel.
At Capital Planning Alliance, our mission is simple.
Our mission is to help our clients achieve an ever-increasing degree of financial independence, safely and efficiently, through a long-term tax, legal, and investment planning relationship with a trusted and knowledgeable advisor.
Capital Planning Alliance's impressive staff consists of 4 certified public accountants, an investment advisor, and legal counsel, bringing to the table over 51 years of financial planning. Call the professionals at Capital Planning Alliance at 263-3640. Capital Planning Alliance, making your money work harder for you.
Little Italy's Pizza in Mount Carmel offers the best in Italian food. Our selection of sandwiches includes the ever-popular Italian beef sandwich, ham and cheese, the Italian sub, and stromboli. And of course we have pizza. Our family feast is only $12 plus tax. It includes a large single-topping pizza, breadsticks, and 2-liter. And since we're located on Walnut Street in Mount Carmel, it's easy for carry-out or delivery. That's Little Italy's Pizza, 262-4121.
Listen to what people are saying about our state representative, John O. Jones.
And we found John Jones to be a friend of Edwards County schools and education.
I'm glad that John Jones is taking the initiative to step forward and get our schools back in shape like they should be.
We have found John to be extremely easy to work with.
I don't know what we'd do without John Jones. He's been great for the community, and I'm proud to be a friend of his.
Oh, John is our friend in the Capitol.
The Wabash County Democratic Central Committee encourages you to go to the polls on Tuesday and cast your vote for Wabash County Commissioner candidate Charles Sanders and other Democratic candidates. From the courthouse to the White House, a strong group of Democratic candidates are asking for your vote. Please help them help Wabash County, Illinois, and all of America. If you would like a ride to the polls on Tuesday, please call 262-7095. This is an important election. Please vote. Vote Democratic. This message brought to you by the Wabash County Democratic Central Committee. Brenda M. Sawyer, Chairman.
A grittier affair than many had bargained for today. Carlyle scored in the first play of the game and still leads Mount Carmel 8-6 as we begin the second quarter. The Indians have the ball, second down and long, second and 21 from their own 32-yard line. And the Indians again line it up with one setback, receivers left and right, and a balanced line for the quarterback. Heinzman hands off, Turner tries to get the ball. Herbert cost the fumble, but who's got it?
Herbert, forced the fumble. Did we get on it, though?
As Turner tried to gallop through, he stripped it away, but Carlyle ends up with it, and Turner somehow ended up with the ball.
Burbrick had a heck of a hit and then ripped through on the tackle to knock the ball loose from Turner, but Turner wisely was able to get back on the football.
So now the game to the 35 creates a third down and 17 for the Indians. Early second quarter, Carlyle leads 8-6. They lost a fumble earlier, and the Aces took advantage of it, scored from 22 yards away. On the touchdown pass to Snow, but covered 7 of those yards. And now Heinzman, a popper over the middle, it's complete, and almost a first down for Chris Hammond, who caught the ball. He's down at the 50, still 3 yards shy of the first down. It will be 4th and 3 for Carlyle. They're going to go for it. Nice little comes out.
Nice little pop pass to the tight end that time. Hammond just able to sneak out of his tight end position there and get wide open and almost got the first down.
So they are going to punt. Turner back to do the punting. The Aces don't have anybody back. And a low snap. He's going to go ahead and run it. Turner, as he's brought down. And he fumbled the ball anyway. But we've got it. Marshall coming out of there with it, but we would have got the ball anyway at the 41. A bad snap. Turner forced a run with the punt, and he's down, and the Aces have another good start at the Carlyle 42.
Well, you know, Rob, if he'd have just went ahead and punted the ball, he probably would have had plenty of time.
And the Aces were dropping people back like mad at the last minute. So now we end up with a great start again, another Carlyle turnover. And here is Rafferty. Hands it up, first down. Casburn running forward across the 40 to around the 42-yard line. And a gain of 4 brings up a second down. Tell you what, it's easy to say, well, this is a 2A club. We ought to beat them. But we're going to reference 10 years ago this year in just a moment, 1986. I want you to think back to that year. Here is Rafferty. And there's a fumble. Ball stripped away. Carlyle has it. They have it back right at the 42 as the ball fell out of Rafferty's hands, or it was taken away virtually by one of the Carlyle players we don't have the number for. 55.
There it is, B.J. Gooden.
Oh, there it is, B.J. Gooden, I'm sorry. He is up with the ball.
You referenced past Class 2A teams. How about 2 years ago when we go to Carlinville, traditionally a 2A team?
Yeah.
They put it on us that year at their place.
They were good. Now, Heinzman sets the club down. 2 receivers right, 1 left, 1 set back. Now Turner's in motion. So Heinzman's back there by himself. Turns a little, flips a little square out.
That's a right ball. That's a right ball.
They fumbled the ball after the catch, and the Aces have it back. 3 straight plays, 3 straight fumbles, and now the Aces have it back, and Kevin had a good view of it on the sideline.
Scott, the Carlyle player never had the ball. It was a lateral. It went on the ground. He tried to pick it up. He actually kicked it to the Aces. The Aces recovered, but he never had the ball. Since it was behind the line of scrimmage, behind him, it was a lateral, and the Aces hop on it for another turnover. Hopefully we can take advantage of this one.
You mean to tell me he never had possession of that? Wow. It sure looked like he at least maybe had some kind of possession of it. Now, Rafferty sets it up. Here's Casburn. He's tripped over the backfield for a loss. Back at the 49, a loss of 2. So Carlyle continues its superlative play up front. 2nd and 12 now.
Well, Jed Casburn having a tough go at it against that Carlyle D-line. 5 carries for negative 1 yards.
And now Rafferty sets the club down, wants to throw, wings it for Snow, who reaches up, grabs it at the 35, first down, now tries to fight out of the leg tackle, but can't. He's brought down to the 31-yard line, still a 17-yard pickup and a first down for Mount Carmel.
Well, Scott, you referenced it earlier in the game, you and Kevin, when you talked about in the playoffs, someone will stop one facet of your game. If you have another facet to go to, you can be successful. Carlyle stopped the run, but we've been able to pass.
teams with Plan B win playoff games. And there's a hit up. Swanson gallops away from one tackle, now another. He could score to the 10. Touchdown! Swanson gallops away from 3 or 4 tackles and scores from 31 yards away, and the Aces have the lead. 9:49 to go here in the first half. Mount Carmel with its first lead, 12-8.
Okay, so maybe the running game is going a little better now.
Well, we've got a Plan B. We just used Plan A. And scored, and Mount Carmel leads 12-8. It had been a nervous time, I think, for all Aces fans, the way Carlyle was playing. That was a vintage Mount Carmel play there. Now Rafferty tries to draw Carlyle off, goes for 2, a little pop-up for Snow, reaches up, grabs it again, but did he drop it? Flag down anyway. Looks like he dropped the ball, or did he?
Yeah, the ball ended up on the ground. I think he's going to call Craig for a little show there. Nope, the other way around.
They still call it against Carlyle, I guess. So we haven't seen the signal yet, but Mount Carmel seems to like what they've been hearing.
Well, it was pretty good coverage. I mean, the defensive back was right there, but we're going to get the break this time.
They got to get those breaks on the basketball court, but not the football field, huh? Maybe they take care of the big guys even on the football field.
Maybe.
9:49 to go, first half, so that is against Carlyle. That puts the ball at the 1.5 yard line, right? 1.5 yard line, half the distance to the goal line.
Mark Fisher, I see now in the game in the backfield.
How about Parker? Is he going to lead the way or get the ball? Let's see. Rafferty looks around, calls signals, and hands off. Fisher will lead the way for Swanson. Touchdown. 2-point conversion for 2 points, making it 14-8. 9:49 to go. We got the 2-point conversion. Aces by 6. We'll be back in just a moment. Touchdown.
Okay. We're in good shape. Number 9.
Who's he yelling at?
Let's go.
Well, these guys like abuse, huh?
No, they just like to make sure the fans back there see him yelling.
All right, here's the TV. Williams with a kick. I don't know if he missed that one or just kind of nubbed it down the field. Oh, Carlyle fumbled the ball. Turner doesn't have it yet. Or does. Jeff Tomlinson's on it. Jeff Tomlinson's got the football. They haven't signaled anything. Looks like Carlyle may have fumbled the kickoff, but they haven't signaled anything
Jeff Tomlinson ended up on the football. That's got to be Ace's ball.
Well, do we have the ball or not? The official.
Oh, they're marking him down, I think. Yeah. Back at the 37. He said he had control back there.
Oh, my.
Ooh.
Did they have control on that kick? It didn't look like it. It did not look like control.
But he said he blew the whistle, I think.
Oh, okay. Might have been. Okay, Kevin, let's hear what you got a good view of it on the sideline?
Yeah, Scott, there's no doubt the player did not have control, but there's also no doubt the official did blow his whistle. Okay. So I think they're going to rule an inadvertent whistle and just give Carlyle the ball, but you're right, he did not have control of the ball.
Yeah, the official just blew it, literally, his whistle, and that's why Carlyle has the ball. Otherwise, we'd have it. The kickoff was fumbled by Carlyle, and Thomason enough with it, no signal was made. That's because the official blown the whistle. Now McCline rolls forward over the right side to around the 42-yard line. DeVue on the stop, gain of 4. Oh, that's too bad.
Well, we're going to find out how gamey this Carlyle group is right here, fellas.
2nd down and 7. Carlyle down for the first time. Well, if they were upset about that little no call on Snow, they got a big break here. They got the ball when they shouldn't have had it. Line of scrimmage, the 42-yard line. Heitzman sets the club down. The backs are in the eye. Slot to the left, wide receiver to the right. And long call. The sophomore here gives a pitch to McCline. And he gets outside of the 45. He's out of bounds at around the 49-yard line.
That's a generous spot.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
He went out of bounds at the 45.
Wow.
Now, remember, you already helped Carlyle once you did. That isn't the payback we were looking for. 1st and 10 now. Line of scrimmage is the 49. He got about 4 yards on that spot. And a first down for the Indians.
I think the kid's feet's just so quick that he can't see it. Yeah, that may be. He's got some quick feet.
Well, McClain is something, isn't he? All right, here's Carlyle now in control, 1st and 10 at midfield. Second quarter, Aces lead it 14-8. Slots to the left, a wide receiver to the right, backs her in the eye, and McClain gets the handoff. Got the ball kind of low, cradled it a little bit. McNew on the stop at midfield, right at the 50, gain of 1.
McClain having a good day. 9 carries, 100 yards already. He's over 1,500 yards for the season, and I see why. He is an outstanding running back.
Well, we were talking about 86. The first game we played was against a would-be 2A school, Greenville. We won that easily enough. Then we had a tussle with Shelbyville. Fan, did you remember that game? We had to block and survive a field goal attempt at the end of the game doing that one. They had a running back that never quit all day. There's a little flow pass on the right side. McClain's got it, tries to get outside, gets by 1, and still on his feet. Finally run down to the 45-yard line of Mount Carmel. It'll be 3rd down at about 5, though.
I tell you, I just can't help but see Johnny Lang every time I see McClain carry the ball. The way he's always spinning and running and keeping the feet moving, just the way Johnny used to do it last year. You never knew when he was going to be down. And I mean, it's just, you never know when he's down. You got to wait for the whistle.
It is 3rd down and long 4 for Carlyle after the little swing pass to the right side. Second quarter here at the stadium. Red Hill a big lead in their game. 20-6 over El Dorado. I think we mentioned that score earlier. Now one man in motion, and, well, the quarterback fakes one way. Now he swings over here to McClain. He's got some running room. Can he get around Ryan Peter? Ryan hangs on, flag down, and the ball carrier down at around the 39-yard line. Was that going to be a face mask?
I think we might get a face mask on Ryan. Good tackle over here, but I think he just grasped just a little bit of face mask enough to bring a flag, and that's what it's going to be.
All right, that's what they're going to call. It's against the Aces. And that'll be enough for the first down.
Yeah, Ryan Peter hustling over, and I tell you, he really made a nice play. Got just a little bit of that face mask, just enough to warrant a flag.
Yeah, could have almost gone the other way. That stiff arm went right up in the face of
good point.
Peter himself, so Rob Peter to play ball.
Oh, okay.
Line of scrimmage will now be the Mount Carmel 30-yard line. And it will be 1st and 10 for Carlyle. Looks like 7:36 to go in the first half. Kind of tough to tell. Aces lead this game 14-8, the first round of the Class 3A playoffs. And it's already been a war this year in the playoffs. We've only played a quarter and a half against the first round 6-3 opponent. And this time Turner, he fumbled again. Out inside the 25 to the 22. Lewis helping out on the stop. And Burbick, of course, there for the Aces near the marker.
He was already down, but he fumbled the football again. I tell you, Carlisle's having a tough time holding on to the pigskin here today.
Gain of 8 by the ball carrier. 2nd and 2 now. Line of scrimmage, the Mount Carmel 22. Well, this is the deepest Carlyle has been since the big touchdown in the first play of the game. Now Tyrone McClain checks out wide left. Marvelous Marvis. McClain is to the left. Now one man in motion, and Turner's a lone setback. And here's a fake reverse. Now wide open! Right at the goal line is the tight end, Eric Towell. Oh my, we got fooled. Everyone thought McClain was going to get the ball, and he flipped it to Towell, and it's 1st and goal, Carlyle.
Great play calling again, Rob. Coach Wheeler, on top of things, picked up something in the defensive scheme they're keying on. And boy, the tight end is wide open that time.
Yeah, exactly right. That's a great call right there by the coaching staff. Take that reverse and then just stood up and hit the tight end. It was wide open over the middle of the field.
So now it's 1st and goal for Carlyle. Line of scrimmage, the Mount Carmel 2-yard line. They're actually a little closer than that. See if they punch it in here. Hand off McClain. He gallops up the middle, and he's repelled. He did not make it. He's down and around the 2.
Great surge by the Aces defensive line up there. Just shut it off right at the line of scrimmage. You got McKinney down in there, and Fisher, Burbick, and D helping from the linebacker position. McNew just stepped up, filled the gaps. Brian Snyder as well, and there's just no place to run from McClain.
What game was that we stopped? Was that Harrisburg early 95? We stopped them inside the 2 or the 3 on 4 straight downs. That was early in the game, I think, the first year. Let's see if we can do it here. Second down and goal. Line of scrimmage to 1, and here is the quarterback. And he'll keep himself. Will he get in? Yes, touchdown. Over the left side, kind of climbing and clawing was Heinzman, and they give him the touchdown. And the game is tied now, 14-14. And it's hard to tell. What is that, 6:42 to go, 5:42 to go, 5:42 to go, first half of play. Now this point after can put Carlyle back in front.
They'll go for 2. Carlyle goes for 2 every time. We've yet to see them on film try an extra point.
And now look what Carlyle has. Yeah, trips to the right and a receiver returner to the left. Now they're going to call timeout. So Carlyle calls a timeout. Whatever they saw, they didn't like. We'll just keep it here for the extra point. 14-14 is the score. Let's go to the sidelines. Here's Kevin Matt.
All right, guys. Rick said, well, we'll see what this Carlyle team's made out of on this drive. Well, we saw what they were made out of. They marched the ball right down the field, tied the score, and pinning the 2-point conversion to take the lead. Carlyle, just like Mount Carmel, you know, they may be traditionally a 2A team. They're a very traditionally strong team, so they're just not going to go away just because they fall behind. I have a feeling right now we're in a game this entire afternoon.
You know, another thing, too, we brought time out there probably to see what defensive lineman we're going to use against that trips alignment. It'll be interesting to see if we change if they come back out of the trips, and if do they come back out of the trips, too. So, great balance again, Rob. Play calling both ways. I think, you know, we talked earlier about scouting, and I can tell you this, everybody now has computerized scouting forms, and they can tell you what tendencies are when the ball's on the right hash, what percentage of passes are thrown to the right, middle, or left side of the field. I mean, it's broken down to an art form, and not only do teams scout other opponents, but they also scout themselves. The coaches sometimes don't realize what their own tendencies are. They really, once they analyze it, don't realize, well, maybe I'm more right-handed than what we want to be, and so on.
Now Carlyle lines up, trips to the right side again, and one receiver to the left. Let's see what Heinzman does. A little slant pass hits the deck first, and it's incomplete. So the 2-point conversion goes awry. We are tied 14-14 here with 5:42 to go the first half. Back to Riverview Stadium in just a moment.
Mount Carmel Dairy Queen Brazier backs the Golden Aces all the way. Dairy Queen is your home for hot eats and cool treats. Choose from single, double, or triple Brazier burgers, chicken strip baskets, chili dogs, and much more. And cool treats are what made DQ famous, from their deli bars, ice cream sandwiches, and star kisses. Plus, don't forget to try a Dairy Queen Treats-a Pizza or ice cream cake for your next special occasion. There's nothing else like it. All this and more at Dairy Queen Brazier on West 3rd Street in Mount Carmel.
Kyle and Connie Day, owners of Corwin Printing Company, invite you to visit them at 1004 Landy Street in Mount Carmel. Corwin Printing is your quality printing specialist. Corwin produces calendars and other specialty items which are sure to fit your business advertising needs. Letterheads and envelopes, as well as desktop papers, ideal for laser printers, are among the items Corwin Printing specializes in. Corwin self-inking stamps can help make your job easier. If quick quality service is what you need, contact Corwin Printing at 263-3936.
Quick and convenient. That's the basis of the Apothecary Shop's drive-up window. When you don't feel like getting out of your car, simply call ahead, and the Apothecary Shop's friendly and helpful staff will have your order ready. The Apothecary Shop is the only pharmacy in Mount Carmel that offers this convenient service. The Apothecary Shop also offers friendly professional consultation on any side effects of medication your doctor may prescribe. In addition, they can help with any over-the-counter medications or remedies you might need. The Apothecary Shop, East 9th Street, Mount Carmel.
Hard work, family, faith in God. These are the values Joe Bob Pierce will bring to the state legislature. He'll put his job creation experience to work and fight for our fair share of education funds. Joe Bob Pierce.
Over the past few months, many of you have shown my family and me tremendous hospitality. I want to say thank you. I hope I can count on your vote next Tuesday.
Joe Bob Pierce for state representative, putting Southern Illinois first.
Oh, you better believe I trust him. I'd trust him with my life. I sure would.
When I first ran for Congress, Lester McFadden said he trusted me to do the job. And I've worked to earn that trust. I never miss a vote. I've refused all PAC and special interest money. And I've worked to reduce government spending by supporting a balanced budget that's fair to all Americans. Because, as Lester said, serving in Congress means keeping your trust.
All right, good for TV. Here's the kick. Taken by who? Ryan Peter picks it up. And now tries the right side, back towards the middle to the 32-yard line. You look a little confused on that kickoff. So the Aces line it up here, 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line. 9-12 news. And Ballard, Rob Blackman, Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Well, the return is by Ryan Peter. He picked up the ball and got out to the 32. That's where the Aces take over. 1st and 10 from there. Rafferty on the pitch to Casburn, trying to get outside to the 35. Flag down, 40, 45, and Casburn knocked out of bounds and around the 49-yard line with a flag down.
They're going to get Jesse Kivas that time on a hold. As Jed popped out to the outside, I believe. Yeah, I think you're right, Coach. Got caught out here in the perimeter, out in the back defensive backfield holding, and that's what we're going to have.
Well, that'll cost the Aces now. They're going to open up in a deficit here on this series following the Carlyle score.
You know, maybe I'm wrong, guys, but it seems to me as though Carlisle's come in with the attitude, hey, we're going to get to the alleys on the outside. We're going to try to keep you up inside the tackles, and that's maybe why Justin's had some success when we've gotten into football some.
Well, let's go to the sidelines. Kevin, Matt.
Guys, John Hart is fit to be tied. The officials marked the penalty from the previous spot where the play went. John says it should be where the flag was thrown. That's the way it's always been, but not today.
Yeah, Kevin's exactly right. Look at Coach Hart out on the field.
Yeah, the officials may correct that too. They've called timeout. They may actually correct that error before the play.
It's kind of funny because John had to convince the line on his side to just stop the play to talk about it. Yeah, it should be from the spot of the foul, not from the original line of scrimmage. The penalty was upfield much further than the line of scrimmage, but the spot of the foul was probably only 3 yards from the line of scrimmage, Rob. Yeah, but it was up slightly. And I think they marked it from the original line of scrimmage. It looks like it according to the down markers.
Well, the line of scrimmage will be the 23-yard line, so the Aces have 1st and 20 to go. Rafferty sets the club down and backs up, wants to throw. Wings it to the left for Snow. He's got a chance. Yes, that's a catch. First down to the 50, 45-yard line. And another mismatch against a 5'5 defensive back. What a catch by Snow.
Well, that play is basically undefensible. With a guy that size on Snow, it's just basically undefensible. We're just throwing it up and letting Craig go get it.
And 33 yards on the pass play and a 1st down. And now Rafferty sets the club down from the Carlyle 45. And hands off. And this time it's Swanson getting away. Almost broke again. A tackle. And he finally dragged down to the 34. Right on the marker. He may have a 1st down with that run of 11 yards. Looks like he does. And he does. 1st down, Aces.
Yeah, most instances this year when we've hit that fade route, we've always come back with that same play, and boy, it's really effective.
Bubbles to the right side, a wide receiver left side, and Casper tries a little counter inside, and it did not work. As he's cut down before he could switch directions and get through the right hole. 33-yard line, a gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
Jed had a real tough time today. They really keyed him. 6 carries, just 1 positive yard for Jed Casburn.
You know, the neat thing is, from Carlisle's angle, is one thing's to key Casburn, one thing's to want to do it, and one thing's to get the job done.
You're exactly right. They're doing a good job of it.
As well as anyone this year. 2nd down, and now Swanson is chopped down and a flag down as he tries to get outside. Nick Turner stayed with him. Gain of only 1 or 2 in the play, but let's see what the call is. Looks like it's against the Aces.
The Indians are applauding, so it must be against the maroon and gold.
This is always part of the problem. You know, we're used to seeing the same officials every week during the season, the same groups, and then we get in the playoffs and stuff like this always seems to happen now. It's our challenge to stay focused and stay with it and not let it bother us. There always are different calls coming our way in the playoffs because we're seeing different officials. Now this penalty marches us back to the 42. I mean, we always complain about it every year. Well, we don't do this right. We see this every year, so it's pretty obvious. This is something we got to deal with every year, just new officials. And there's a hit up. Casburn blows through the middle. 35, 30, 20, and he's tripped up inside the 15-yard line. But what a
breaking loose. We knew it was coming. We just didn't know when it would be. A 33-yard gallop for the senior halfback, and we're in scoring position again. I don't think Jed Mine running up inside the tackle. Look at those results. Wow.
It is first and goal. We are just inside the 10-yard line. The Aces line it up there. Rafferty takes both ways. Oh, handed off. I'm sorry. I was fooled as well. And not that that's anything unusual. Ball carrier Swanson around the 8-yard line. Gain of 1, second and goal.
I do like the new look, though, Scott. I do like that.
Oh, the goatee?
Yeah, that is the best Pierre kind of thing.
The only thing is now, when I make a mistake, nobody hassles me now. I like that. Second down. Rafferty hands off ball. It's loose! It's popped up in the air.
Come on, get it.
Had it, and it looks like
third down.
Looks like we have it.
Yeah, Brandon Grant's pointing our way, so we must have somehow come out of there with it, and we did, somehow, some way.
That ball squirted 2 feet up in the air, and we ended up with it.
Bergwick got his hands on it, Kevin tells me from the sideline.
Now it's third down and goal. Line of scrimmage is the 7. So here is Rafferty setting the club down. Receivers left and right. Fakes both ways. He's looking. He may try to run it in himself. He's chopped out at around the 5. Knocked out of bounds is Rafferty, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Rafferty nothing to do with it that time, and Wisely just tucked it up and tried to get what he could.
Nothing there. He was looking for snow. Carlyle wants timeout. The Aces have a good 5 yards to go for the touchdown. Timeout Indians will keep it here. With 3:21 to go in the first half, we are tied at 14. Let's go to the sidelines. Kevin?
Guys, this is where a lack of a kicker hurts Mount Carmel. I think right now in this situation, with a 4th and goal from the 5, we have Josh Moore or Jake Newkirk. We kick the ball right now, but the situation is we really don't have a dependable kicker, so we have to go for it here on 4th and goal.
Get in the playoffs, got to get those points.
Well, the other factor maybe, too, the wind is kind of nasty and whipping ahead. So we'd be blowing right in the face of the kicker. It would be a 22-yard field goal try if we tried it from right here.
Well, how about this game, fellas? A lot tougher than we might have imagined. I tell you what, Carlyle does such a good job up front. Maybe Red Hill did well against us up front for a while, but I haven't recalled so many third and longs and these kind of situations all year.
And Carlyle are playing 9 people both ways. They only have 3 seniors on the team, but man, are they just playing their hearts out. Really impressed with this Carlyle team.
So the second half will be the big indicator. Can Carlyle stay with it, or will they tire in the fourth quarter? 4th and goal for the Aces. Rafferty sets the club down and wants to throw. He fires into the back of the end zone. It's poked away by Carlyle, and Lovelace was back there, and what a job by John Clemmer. He poked it away in front of Justin. And Carlyle gets the ball.
You know, that was the same situation when they burned a timeout earlier, and we threw the touchdown to Craig in the first quarter. Yeah, that time they had the McCline brothers double teaming out there, and that had to open it up somewhere else. Yeah, you're exactly right. We tried to find Justin, and he was basically the last receiver, the third receiver, third option in the back of the end zone, but good defense there by the Carlyle Indians.
And now Carlyle sets it up. Heinzman from about the 5-yard line is 1st and 10, and the ball carrier McCline fights forward to around the 10-yard line. Second down from there for Carlyle.
Erase that.
3:04 to go here in the first half of play. We're tied 14-all.
That goatee does look good. All of our fans in the stands, if you got your binoculars, get a good shot right over here. Guy sitting to my left.
It's kind of a messy goatee right now.
You look bad, though.
4th day.
You look meaner.
I feel meaner.
You look tough.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go pick a fight at halftime.
Well, you're not a linebacker yet. You might be like an offensive guard.
No, I'm like a DB. Oh, no, I was just kidding. Second down. And here is a pitch. And McCline works outside left side and is down around the 13-yard line. Marvis, after a nice block by Turner to help lead the way, gets near the first down marker. It'll be third from there. Third down.
Won't have far to go, about 1.5 yards to get the first down. Just 2 minutes now remaining in the first half. If Carlyle can get a first down, then obviously they'll probably be able to run out the clock before the half is done. If we can stop them, we'll get the ball back with pretty good field position. And under 2 minutes to play, this is a huge play for the Aces defense. See if we can get the ball back here.
Under 2 minutes to go. There's a 1:50 to go. First half. And a flag flies before Carlyle even takes a snap.
That's really going to hurt them. That's too much time delay of game, and that really, what would have been 3rd and 1.5 now becomes 3rd and 6, and that's a killer penalty for the Carlyle Indians. That also stops the clock as well.
Well, welcome to the playoffs. This is what Carlyle is saying to the Aces. You know, I guess you have a tendency to believe those brackets. Here we are, the number 1 seed at 9-0. Carlyle 6-3. The seeds mean, of course, nothing in terms of trying to compare teams to teams. That means absolutely nothing. You could play a 2A schedule all year and end up 9-0, and you'd be the number 1 seed in 3A.
Yeah, and in the playoffs, it's just whoever plays the best for 48 minutes. Not the season, just 48 minutes.
So that's what we get for believing the brackets, huh? This is a gutsy little game going right now. And here is McCline swinging wide on the right side. He almost fell down, keeps his balance, spins his way, perhaps to a first down over the 15-yard line. What a run by McCline.
He's going to be close to the marker. I think he had to get right to the 15, and he's right on it. They're going to have to take a measurement.
His knee was also close to going down as he lost his balance on the sweep, but he managed to keep it off the deck, spin, right himself, and then get a couple more yards.
Kevin's right there. Yeah, he's in
right. Kevin? We have it.
Yeah, guys, it's right there, and it looks like it's going to be a first down by the nose of the football.
Oh, my. Not much, huh? Okay, we'll measure it. We'll confirm it. Yes, 3rd down. The first down now for Carlyle. And the Indians keep their drive going here late in the first half.
Now very important for the Aces defense just to suck it up and not allow the big play or the score before the half. Let's take it into halftime tied at even 14. But don't let McCline get loose on you and bust one big for a 70-yard touchdown run, because that really take the wind out of your sails headed to the locker room.
And if it was a run on this play, it'll even be longer at 85 yards. It is 1st and 10 from the 15. Here is Heitzman. He pitches to McCline, tries to get outside. The Aces pursue, and don't have him wrapped up yet. He breaks away to the 30, 35, still on his feet, and finally brought down to the 39. We could not wrap him up. But did he go down way back there? So the Aces think he did, but no call, and it's a first down.
I just cannot believe
this. Grab him, guys, grab him.
This kid's a 4-year starter. For the past 3 years, he's been a wide receiver. He started the year as a wide receiver. I don't know what he was doing there.
But I just think how good this team could have been had not that boy who was in the state finals last year in track had not broke his collarbone in the first game of the season.
It is 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage to 39. And that was a 24-yard pickup. Now nothing on that run at all. Turner down for a loss at the 37.
Yeah, Jared Steckler and Mark Fisher closed that hole up in a hurry and really knocked him back for a loss, actually.
Steckler has been something. So many of these kids have really come on in defense, and that's what makes us a better club than we were early in the year when we played perhaps Red Hill. Our kids are so much better on defense now. Here we are, 2nd and 12 now for Carlyle. Line of scrimmage is the 38-yard line. I think we're down to 19 seconds to go in the half. Let's see what they come up with here. One man in motion. And there's the pitch. I don't think McCline expected the pitch. He was way behind it. He gets outside of the 45. Finally brought down to the 47-yard line. A gain of 7. And we're down to 2 seconds to go. That'll end the first half of play. All right, we are dead even. First round of the playoffs. We played one half, and Carlyle and Mount Carmel are tied at 14-14. We'll be back to Riverview Stadium to review the first half in just a moment.
Security Bank is your bank for life, all your life, and for all your financial needs. And no matter how much your needs change, we'll always keep you moving in the right direction to get you safely where you want to be. We offer a full range of financial services, so we can do a lot for you now and in the future. From simple checking to good living loans for any reason, we're here to serve your financial needs every step of the way. Security Bank, your bank for life.
For a decade now, Pit Stop Services has served area drivers with dedicated service. Whether it's Pit Stop's famous Quick But Complete oil changes or Pit Stop's great deals on all-season radials from Michelin, Cooper, Remington, and others, Pit Stop Services has built its reputation on putting the customer first. Now Pit Stop is proud to offer ZZ Wheels. ZZ Wheels is the hottest look in wheels and features a patented interchangeable twist lock design to completely transform the look of your wheels in seconds. Drive a little, save a lot at Pit Stop Services.
Every day, in every kind of home, people discover the special pleasures of owning Palo windows. It's the ingenuity of two locks secured by a single handle, the promise of quality from the only company that tests windows right on the factory line to make sure they're airtight, and the thoughtfulness of a door that locks in 3 places for added comfort and security. Discover why Palo owners are so satisfied year after year after year.
For your free idea book, call 1-800-64-PALA.
Make your Thanksgiving dinner a breeze with a stop at Mount Carmel Red and White's Deli Bakery. Red and White will cook your complete Thanksgiving meal, including the turkey, dressing, mashed potatoes, gravy, and all the trimmings. Red and White's Bakery even takes the work out of your Thanksgiving dessert with fresh-made pumpkin pies, cakes, and cookies. This Thanksgiving, spend more time with your family and friends and less time in the kitchen. Let Red and White do the work. Red and White open 24 hours a day at 9th and Walnut.
Listen to what people are saying about our state representative, John O. Jones.
And we found John Jones to be a friend of Edwards County schools and education.
I'm glad that John Jones is taking the initiative to step forward and get our schools back in shape like they should be.
We have found John to be extremely easy to work with.
I don't know what we'd do without John Jones. He's been great for the community, and I'm proud to be a friend of his.
Oh, John is our friend in the Capitol.
Where's Kevin? Is he around the cell phone?
He was walking up, I saw. All right, back at the stadium, Rob Blackman. Time for the first half statistics. We like to call it the first half wrap, brought to you by Dallas Consulting. We're tied at 14 apiece here in Mount Carmel. The Carlyle Indians, the number 16 seed in the South, giving the number 1 seed in the southern half of the state all they can handle here in this opening round Class 3A playoff game. The statistics, first of all, for the Carlyle Indians, they're led in rushing by Marvelous Marvis McCline. We can see why he's been so highly touted. 15 carries, 145 yards, and a touchdown so far this afternoon for the Indians. The second leading rusher for the team is the fullback Nick Turner, 5 carries for 19 yards. Only one other player to carry the ball. That's been the quarterback, Grant Heisman. He carried it on the quarterback sneak, a 1-yard gain for a touchdown. Overall, so far today, it's been a total of 21 carries for the Carlyle Indians for a total of 165 yards. Passing-wise, Heisman, you'd never guess he's just a sophomore. 5 of 5, perfect today for 46 yards. Guessing more of the balls for him. Towers caught one for 20, Hammond one for 15. Marvis McCline has caught 2 balls for 7 yards, and Tyrone McCline has caught 1 ball for 4 yards. The Indians have racked up 8 total first downs, and again have 5 total penalties for 48 yards. Meanwhile, for the Golden Aces, 12 first downs so far this afternoon, leading the way rushing Justin Swanson, the senior fullback, 8 carries for 63 yards. Jed Casburn finally broke out of a slump and busted off a long run towards the end of the first half. He's got 7 carries for 34 yards. Chris Rafferty, 4 carries for 5 yards, and Mark Fisher has carried at one time for a 0-yard gain. Chris Rafferty passing the ball this afternoon, not all bad. Right now he's 6 of 13 for 95 yards and a touchdown. Craig Snow has caught 5 of those passes for 83 yards, one of them being the 8-yard touchdown reception. Justin Swanson has caught the other pass for 12 yards. The Aces have been penalized so far this afternoon 3 times for 25 yards. Turnovers have been a key in this one so far. Mount Carmel's fumbled the ball twice, lost it once, while the Carlyle Indians have fumbled the ball 3 times and lost it each and every time. The scoring summary for this afternoon, the very first play of the game. Marvis McCline goes 65 yards around the left end for a touchdown. Hammond's pass from Hines on the pass reception was good for the 2-point conversion, 8-0 Carlyle. With 7:08 remaining in the first quarter, Craig Snow an 8-yard touchdown reception from Chris Rafferty. The ensuing 2-point run failed, 8-6 Carlyle. 9:49 to play, second quarter, Justin Swanson 31-yard touchdown run. Then Swanson adds the 2-point conversion run as well, 14-8 Mount Carmel, and with 5:42 remaining in the first half, Grant Heinzman on the quarterback sneak goes 1 yard in for the touchdown. The extra point pass failed. We're tied at 14s here at halftime. Stay with us when we come back. We'll give you the answer to Aces Trivia. You've been listening to the first half wrap, brought to you by Dallas Consulting. Back with more from halftime right after this.
Very young, you faced the unexpected, never concerned, knowing your security came from those who loved you most. Soon you took on more risks and started making decisions on your own. Now you're being counted on to help build a secure future, to protect you and your family from the unexpected. Depend on your hometown professional, your independent Pekin insurance agent.
Pekin Insurance.
Your Pekin Insurance agent in Mount Carmel is Mike Harris of Harris Insurance Agency.
For the professional electrical service that you deserve, call S.K. Smith Electrical Contractors. S.K. Smith has been providing the Wabash Valley region with commercial, residential, and industrial lighting for over 10 years. S.K. Smith also provides electrical service for farms and oil fields. Our trained and courteous technicians are always there for minor electrical repairs, troubleshooting, or even industrial wiring. Don't trust the safety of your family or co-workers to just anyone. Call S.K. Smith today. S.K. Electric, your fully bonded electrical contractors.
Since 1917, the place to be has been Guy Hadley's Cafe, uptown Mount Carmel. Hadley's lunch and dinner buffet always has something great to eat. Plus, Hadley's menu is packed with dozens and dozens of sandwich platters, full dinners, and appetizers. And while at Hadley's, be sure to try a slice of one of Dot's famous pies. For nearly 80 years now, there's been one constant in Mount Carmel, and that one constant is Guy Hadley's Cafe, where friends meet friends. Hadley's Cafe, 416 Market.
Choosing a cellular company can get confusing, but First Cellular of Southern Illinois makes your choice clear. First Cellular is the only individual cellular company to provide all 24 counties in Southern Illinois as true home coverage. At First Cellular, you'll receive value-added benefits at no additional charge, like 9-cent long distance, the lowest extended roaming rates, and 24-hour customer care. Plus, First Cellular is 100% locally owned and operated, so your money stays here in Southern Illinois. Visit First Cellular's Mount Carmel store today.
Hard work, family, faith in God. These are the values Joe Bob Pierce will bring to the state legislature. He'll put his job creation experience to work and fight for our fair share of education funds. Joe Bob Pierce.
Over the past few months, many of you have shown my family and me tremendous hospitality. I want to say thank you. I hope I can count on your vote next Tuesday.
Joe Bob Pierce for state representative, putting Southern Illinois first.
The Wabash County Democratic Central Committee encourages you to go to the polls on Tuesday and cast your vote for Wabash County Commissioner candidate Charles Sanders and other Democratic candidates. From the courthouse to the White House, a strong group of Democratic candidates are asking for your vote. Please help them help Wabash County, Illinois, and all of America. If you would like a ride to the polls on Tuesday, please call 262-7095. This is an important election. Please vote. Vote Democratic. This message brought to you by the Wabash County Democratic Central Committee. Brenda M. Sawyer, Chairman.
Aces will get the ball first to start the second half. Duke Hodgson and Gabe Williams deep for the Aces at around their own 15-yard line. And here is the kick by Brothers. A little bit better this time. Gabe on the catches it at the 23, at the 17 rather, 20, 25, 30, and down near the 40-yard line. He's finally brought down. Nice return of 23 yards by Gabe. First and 10. Mount Carmel at their own 40-yard line.
Much better kickoff that time for the kickoff crew of Carlyle. They've been scribbing it just down 20, 25 yards, but that time booted it deep.
A lot of fans returning from their cars into their seats now, and also their spots along the fence down here at Riverview Stadium. 14-14, Rafferty keeps and has a little trouble stepping through traffic and has dropped it around the 44-yard line. He could have gone for more, but actually had to kind of wait before he could step around inside there. Gain of 4, second down.
Triple option that time. Rafferty just read it. They took the fullback, so he kept it himself, turned it up, got what he could. Good read there by the senior quarterback.
In crunch time in the playoffs, Rafferty's smarts may make the difference. Rafferty gives the pitch to Keepus, who looks to get outside now, cuts up the middle, takes a loss, finally ran out of choosing room, and he's dragged down to the 41-yard line for a loss of 3, third down and 9 now.
Tried a quick pitch that time to keep us around the left side. That's the first time he's carried it today, and the Carlyle Indians shut it down in a hurry.
Rafferty calls the signals on third and long. Line of scrimmage the 40. Wants to throw. Does. Looking for Small. Lofter. He reaches up, grabs it. First down catch inside the Carlyle 45 down to the 42. There's that simple little Lofter pass, and a height mismatch as it will always be when Craig Snow is in pattern, and a first down catch.
So that's his 6th catch of the day for 101 yards. He has definitely been the key to our offense so far this afternoon as Craig Snow.
And Rafferty calls the signals, hands off to Swanson. He bowls off the left side. Brothers grabs him from behind and around the Aces 38. That's a gain of about 3, second down. I forgot to bring my sunglasses here.
Yeah, the little sun up over the bluff there shines right in our eyes.
Early third quarter, this game is tied 14-all. A beautiful day for football, quite nippy though. This first round game is a pretty football winner. Rafferty hands off. Second man through. Jasper banks his way inside the 35 down to the 32. They have the first down on that effort. It's going to be very close. It actually could be shy. That should bring up third down.
About a yard shy, it'll look like. It'll be a 3rd and 1 now for Mount Carmel. Getting here in 4-down territory as we're on the 32 of the Indians. Very important the Aces get a good offensive drive here to start the second half and set the tone for the offense.
And here is Rafferty with Lovelace to the right and a receiver to the left. Snow. Chris keeps himself and plunges forward for the first down just inside the Carlyle 30.
I'll tell you, you get on Nick Snow's tail there. Yeah. You're going to be able to ride a while. Yeah, you got Snow and Bobrick on that side. You get behind them guys, they'll take you to a first down.
Brandon Grant, the tight end, lines it up to the left side rather. He drops off the line as a wing back, and there's a handoff. Swanson gets outside. First down run, and then some for around the 15-yard line. Swanson on the carry. Good for 14 yards and a first down.
Well, Justin Swanson is having a heck of a day. 10 carries, 78 yards. The coaching staff is really on him this week about getting his steps right and getting quick out of the gate, coming out of his stance, and it's really paid dividends. He is just running the heck out of the ball.
First and 10 from the Carlyle 16 of the Aces. Rafferty takes starts, drops the snap, and who has it? Carlyle.
We ended up back on. I think Chris got back on his own fumble, and that's what he did.
Looks like he just pulled away too soon for lack of anything better, and now that creates a second and 10 from the 16. Kind of takes just a little bit of the steam out of the momentum we had. We need to recapture that, and Rafferty goes right back to work.
Third fumble of the day for the Aces. Luckily for us, we've only lost one of them.
He lines up Snow to the left side, Lovelace to the right, and wants to throw. Stumbles back as he sets the fire over the ball for Grant. Rafferty almost tripped and fell down as he delivered the pass over the middle to Grant, who caught it for the touchdown. What a play for the Aces, who now have the lead, 20-14. Third quarter, 8:53 to go here, and Rafferty almost fell down as he backed up to throw the ball, delivered it over the middle to Grant, the tight end, for the TD.
What composure by Chris as he was stumbling out of the blocks and somehow kept his balance and was able to make a heck of a pass for a touchdown.
Now Ryan Peter holds for Gabe Williams. Here comes, looks like a little motion up front, a little snap, and the kick is on the way. It sails to the right. It looks like it's no good. And it is no good. 8:59 to go. That's what the clock says. Third quarter, 20-14. Mount Carmel leads. Carlyle back in a moment.
Electric wires are too high to touch.
Not. Overhead wires are insulated.
Not. Wood does not conduct electricity.
What you don't know can hurt you.
Take care around electricity.
Hard work, family, faith in God. These are the values Joe Bob Pierce will bring to the state legislature. He'll put his job creation experience to work and fight for our fair share of education funds. Joe Bob Pierce.
Over the past few months, many of you have shown my family and me tremendous hospitality. I want to say thank you. I hope I can count on your vote next Tuesday.
Joe Bob Pierce for state representative, putting Southern Illinois first.
Tired of the same old room? Want something new and different? Call Carl Berber Construction. Carl Berber Construction has been in the business of building and remodeling for over 30 years. Looking for new cabinets for your kitchen? Berber Construction can custom build your cabinets and install them for you. Wanting to change a garage to a family room or wanting more space? Needing to add a room? Call KB Construction and they can give you the look you've been waiting for your home or business. KB Construction 298-2421, a proud ACES sponsor.
What does Joe Bob Pierce believe? Joe Bob Pierce believes abortion should be legally available through the 9th month of pregnancy. Joe Bob Pierce supports taxpayer funding of abortion. That's why Joe Bob Pierce has been endorsed by Personal PAC. Personal PAC believes homosexuals should have the right to marry and adopt children. Joe Bob Pierce is too extreme for Southern Illinois.
Committed to quality. It's a pretty simple statement, but at Wabash General Hospital, it means so much more. Committed to quality is Wabash General's promise to stay abreast of modern medical treatment and technology, provide kind and compassionate care, and maintain the high standards of medical excellence that the community expects and deserves. Wabash General provides modern medical technology, a highly skilled staff, and a commitment to our community to offer quality, compassionate care close to home. That's Wabash General Hospital, Mount Carmel.
4-3. Following the Aces touchdown, Gabe Williams kicks this one off. It sails here to the near side. Clever will let it go out of bounds, which it does. Flags fly. Little fracas off the ball, but both sides restrain themselves. And kick one out of bounds by Gabe Williams. Clever let it go out of bounds. Looks like Carlyle owns the ball at the 35-yard line. A little fracas off the ball, but both sides restrain themselves, and Carlyle takes over.
No, it looks like Coach is going to make us kick it again.
Okay.
I believe Carlyle head coach Gary Wheeler says, nope, we want our men to return it. You're going to have to kick this thing again with a 5-yard penalty back on.
And going into the wind on top of that. So Carlyle now will get another chance at the return. This time we'll kick it from the 35-yard line. And here comes Gabe Williams with a kick. And that time he kind of topped it. It bounces down the field. And finally going to be taken by McCline Tyrone. He tries to work from the left side. Gets away from 1, 2, down to the 40, 45. And finally pushed out of bounds at the 47-yard line. And that's where Carlyle takes over. And Tyrone McCline almost broke it.
Again, good speed, able to get to the perimeter where the Carlyle Indians get themselves a running alley to get outside, and good speed. That's a nice 18-yard kickoff return.
Aces 20, Carlyle 14. Well, if you're going to see Carlyle break one, I'd rather have them break it with us leading 20-14 than tied. This bunch makes you nervous. And one step back. Hand off, ball carrier stacked right up. Fisher and Furbrick grab him at the line of scrimmage. No gain for the ball carrier. That time Norm Turner found right in the middle. It is now 2nd and 10.
I beg to differ with your last comment. I'd rather see them break one with us leading 42-14.
Yeah, I mean, this is barely enough to let you breathe easy. And with a 6-point lead, this game is anything but in the clear. 8:21 to go, third quarter now. Here comes Carlyle with a slot to the right and a wing back that away. And here's, with one setback, the quarterback, the sophomore, Grant Heinzman. He hands off, and McCline gets by 1-2. Breaks free! 40! Fumble the ball! Scramble on, and everybody...
We got it! We got it!
Well, and it looks like we got it. Yes! McCline fumbled the ball after a great run to the Aces 41, but as he was finally tackled and there wasn't sure we were going to be able to do that. He popped the ball loose, and we fell on it. Thank goodness.
That's their fourth fumble of the afternoon, and they have lost all 4 of them.
How about that? After all this time, the best way to stop Carlyle is to hand the ball to the guy that can also burn us, McCloy. Here's Rafferty handing off on first down. Ball carrier Swanson plows forward around the 47-yard line. And now second down and about 3. That's tough carrying the ball today. There's no doubt about that. These kids probably haven't even worn gloves all year. Now wearing them today, that could be a factor. Second down and 3. Pretty hands off. Ball carrier near the marker. Swanson over there, right on the marker at the 50, but they're going to mark him a little further back, so it'll be third and very short.
Justin Swanson continues to have a good day. 12 carries, 87 yards. He's been the bulk of our rushing offense and doing a fine job of it.
7:15 to go, third quarter. Aces with the ball just shy of the 50-yard line. Swanson and Casburn in the backfield. Rafferty keeps it himself, steps over the right side, and follows Fisher across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Excuse me, that was Snowy follow to the 49, and it'll be first and 10 for the Aces from there.
Yeah, short yardage situations. We're just going with the old quarterback sneak behind Burbrick and Snow, and they're making a huge hole.
So the Aces drive continues. Lobos goes wide to the right side, Snow to the left side, and there's a handoff. Caslen took the handoff and then was met instantaneously by Carlyle and repelled back inside his own 50-yard line, just shy of that mark, so it's second and 12. And we're down to 6:35 to go here in the third period. Aces with the ball after Carlyle fumble. Receivers left and right, and Rafferty wants to throw after 2 fakes. Dumps it out, intended for Swanson. He hangs on to the ball, but he's drilled as soon as he makes the catch at the 45-yard line. Another crisp tackle by Carlyle.
And once again, they're just daring. There's the throw still going, so the man covers there and just not going to give in.
And you know what? In the third quarter of the 20-14 game, it seems to be working for him. Well, that's hasn't been a bad strategy, though one wouldn't have thought it would work all day, and maybe it won't anyway. Here's a flip to one. Oh, what a pass at the 28-yard line. He made a catch at a first down for the Aces at the 28.
What a catch by Lovell.
He had a pretty good step on his receiver, on his defensive man.
He did a nice job shielding him off, too. Maybe got away with one there a little push maybe to get to it, but nice catch that time.
Good job, first and 10 Aces.
What a great catch by Lovey. That's a big-time play right there.
And here's Rafferty on first and 10. Hands off. Casburn has a little running room, and the whole plugged up quickly over the 25. Just about that mark, so a gain of 3 for Casburn. Let's go to the sidelines.
Guys, a great catch by Lovell for the first down. Hopefully that'll get Justin on track. He could be a big part of this Aces offense if he can hold on to the ball in the playoffs. He dropped one early in the first half, didn't see him come back without.
And here is a handoff. Ball carrier going left side. And Swanson gets across the 25 to around the 23-yard line. And it's now third and 5. We're down to 5 minutes to go in the third quarter here. Receivers left and right, and Rafferty's back to throw, looking for Snow, looking, chased out of the pocket. He's running for his life, and he gets rid of the ball. Looks like he was throwing, but then the officials call it as that or a fumble.
I think they're going to rule it a fumble.
Oh, they must rule it's a pass. He was throwing and everything.
And that's what
pass.
it is.
That's a pass, isn't it? He was throwing. That's a pass, and he went through his arm motion. My. Fumble to Carlyle. I can't believe they called that. He was throwing the ball.
Well, it certainly looked like, Chris's arm was moving forward, but was the ball hit while he still had it in the passing pocket?
We'll have to look at the films. It sure looked like he was already going forward with his arm.
Wow.
Well, they ruled a fumble, and Carlyle has the ball at the 27-yard line. So Heitzman sets the club up and sends Turner in motion to the right. One setback, and that's Marvis. He stood up. He kind of fell backwards as he got to the line. I think somebody grabbed him right away. It might have been Fisher. Down low, no gain by the ball carrier. Second down and 10. And the defense is stiffened on both sides inside. Carlyle not having too much more luck than even the Aces are.
Much of the field now covered in the shadows of the bluff as the sun's setting on the far side of the football field. A bit cooler down there on the field now with that sun gone.
Second down and a long 9. No setbacks now. One man in motion, and Heitzman throws the bottom of the field. Right in. Haywood picks it off at the 43. Carlyle did the ultimate. They performed the ultimate sin. They threw Haywood's way, and he picked it off. They had to know better than that if they've looked at the film. Aces with the ball. Timeout as Heitzman is helped off the field. The quarterback is hurt.
Heitzman holding his left elbow. I think he might have got hit by a helmet or something on that elbow, but boy, you had it right. The ultimate sin. Why throw at Ryan Haywood? That's his 10th interception of the year. Kevin Madden's on the sidelines.
Guys, a really bad pass, too, that time by Heitzman. The wind didn't knock it down. He's got the wind with him. It was just a dot thrown out there, and just a jump ball. The Haywood won.
And now a handoff. Swanson gallops over left tackle. Gains about 2 or 3 to the 40-yard line now. Carlisle's coaches have to go to work and try to work on their quarterback here, getting back into the game. He looks to, it is shaken up. He's holding his right arm, as we mentioned.
Yeah, holding it. I guess it is the right arm. I believe I thought it was the left, with right arm or elbow, which would be the throwing arm of Heitzman.
Second and 7. Handoff back to the right side. Goes Casburn. He's got running room. 30, 25. Skates for another to the 20. Down to the 17-yard line. Daily run by Casburn. Goes for the first down, and that's a run of 22 yards. 3:32 to go, third quarter. All of a sudden, all the momentum in the world is going our way. We're rolling. Carlyle has their quarterback hurt. And now Rafferty sets down first and 10 and hands off to Swanson over the left side around the 15. And a gain of about 3 by the ball carrier, second down and 7. Coach Wheeler not trying to look concerned, but he's checking out of the corner of his eye when he comes out. He's looking back at his quarterback.
No question about that.
Yeah, he's really trying not to look nervous on the sidelines, but he's in the process of losing his quarterback. Swanson gallops through, and inside the 5-yard line he goes. First down, Aces.
Justin Swanson now over 100 yards today. He's got 105 yards rushing so far this afternoon, and Swanee with another huge run.
Hey, look at that. I think he's going to get back in the game. Heitzman. Now the Aces have a first and maybe not. He just tried to hold the ball, and I'm not sure he knew it immediately. He can't throw the ball. It's first and goal for the Aces now, and an inside handoff. Swanson rolls his way towards the goal line, gets down to about the 3-yard line. I think they're going to go report that Heitzman can't go. He no more than picked up the football, and he knew he was done for the day.
No, he's got his shoulder pads unbuckled even. I don't believe he'll be back in the game today.
Yeah, he tried to throw a pass, didn't even get to deliver the ball. He knew right away he was done. So we'll see, though, what that's the way it appears. Now handoff. Swanson over right tackle trying to follow the big boys up front, including Fisher, who's into the game. Swanson gets closer, down to around the 1-yard line, and it'll be now fourth down.
Oh, a huge score here if Mount Carmel can put it in the end zone for a touchdown. Give us a 2-touchdown cushion here late in the third quarter. This is a huge offensive series right here.
And it is just third down for the Aces, but the Aces call timeout. 2:07 to go here in the third quarter of play. And should we take a break? Let's keep it here. We don't want to miss the touchdown.
That's right. You never know.
Aces 20, Carlyle 14. And we're late in the third quarter, and it looks like Stuart Heitzman is going to pick up the football now. The freshman.
So from Wabash County, people know where to go for first-class banking. The Bank of Mount Carmel, an independent, community-owned institution with a time-honored tradition of excellent service. People know the Bank of Mount Carmel is a full-service bank, offering its customers the best and flexible loans, free checking, even trust services. And visiting Bank of Mount Carmel is always a pleasure because their employees are knowledgeable and courteous. If you haven't already, you should get to know the friendly folks at Bank of Mount Carmel at the corner of 6th and Market Street, Mount Carmel, Illinois.
Since being very young, you faced the unexpected, never concerned, knowing your security came from those who loved you most. Soon you took on more risks and started making decisions on your own. Now you're being counted on to help build a secure future, to protect you and your family from the unexpected. Depend on your hometown professional, your independent Pekin insurance agent.
Pekin Insurance.
Your Pekin Insurance agent in Mount Carmel is Mike Harris of Harris Insurance Agency.
Kiefer Brothers Construction is proud to announce they are now a Star Building System dealer. If you're planning on building a new building, plan on talking to Kiefer Brothers Construction. They have beautiful solutions to your building problems, like helping you choose the Star Building System that will give your building the distinctive image you're looking for, from colonial to contemporary, with brick, glass, stone, or other accent materials. A building system that will meet your exact requirements. They can put your business in business fast. Call Kiefer Brothers Construction today at 262-5108.
Mount Carmel High School students, you don't have to go deep for the best selection and savings on class rings. Just march down the field to Gottman's Custom Jewelry, 422 Market. Gottman sells exclusive art-carved class rings with dozens of classic styles and modern designs. Personalize your ring with hundreds of options at no extra cost. Plus, check out Gottman's selection on gold change and Seiko and Citizens watches. So don't wait for the 2-minute warning. Get to Gottman's Jewelry for your art-carved class ring, gold and diamond jewelry, watches, and giftware today. Gottman's Custom Jewelry, 422 Market Street, Mount Carmel.
The Wabash County Democratic Central Committee encourages you to go to the polls on Tuesday and cast your vote for Wabash County Commissioner candidate Charles Sanders and other Democratic candidates. From the courthouse to the White House, a strong group of Democratic candidates are asking for your vote. Please help them help Wabash County, Illinois, and all of America. If you would like a ride to the polls on Tuesday, please call 262-7095. This is an important election. Please vote. Vote Democratic. This message brought to you by the Wabash County Democratic Central Committee. Brenda M. Sawyer, Chairman.
The Aces are 2 yards away, and it's 3rd and goal. Rafferty calls the signals, keeps himself, and has the touchdown! Rafferty on the keeper, and the Aces have a big lead now, 26-14, with 2:05 to go in the 3rd period.
Well, that was that score Mount Carmel needed right there. That gives you a 2-touchdown advantage. Is now just over 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter. And we saw it again, the sneak behind Snow and Brunswick, and it's automatic when you're going that way.
And we'll go to the sidelines here in a moment. Rafferty looking for the 2-pointer for Snow. He's got it. Just leapfrog, grabs it. There's that, how many inches? 15-inch mismatch with his defender. The 2-point conversion works for the Aces. 28-14, Mount Carmel leads. We'll be back in just a moment.
Security Bank says we're your bank for life. We mean it. No matter where you are in your life, we're ready to help. With a full spectrum of banking, investment, lending, and trust services, we can do a lot for you now and in the future. Plus, we can provide the resources and guidance that suit your particular financial needs and plan. It's no wonder so many people have been our valued customers for so many years. Because at Security Bank, we're committed to being your bank for life.
Robert Walters Furniture Company has been serving the Wabash County area since 1868. At Robert Walters, you'll discover unbeatable prices every day store-wide on the furniture designs that you desire. We carry a complete line of quality name-brand furniture that will delightfully fill any home. At Robert Walters Furniture, we take pride in working with our customers by offering 0% interest for 1 year and a convenient layaway plan. Visit Robert Walters Furniture in downtown Mount Carmel, where shopping is made easy.
Looking for the ideal location on your next home? Your search is now over. Greenbrier is a unique single-family residential subdivision developed by Jim Fry and Larry Tedford. Greenbrier is located in the 2000 block of College Drive and consists of 23 parcels nestled on 8 rolling acres near Wabash Valley College. All lots contain at least 12,000 square feet. Each site offers concrete sidewalks, city water, sewer, electricity, natural gas, and cable TV. For more information, contact Mundy Real Estate Agency at 263-3131 or 262-7496.
Not 1, but 2 quarter-pound beef patties. 3 slices of melted cheese. 8 strips of crispy bacon. They say the world is getting smaller, but what's really happened is that the burger has gotten bigger. Introducing the Monster Burger, only from Hardee's. What will they think of next? Breakfast is in the Monster Omelet Biscuit with plenty of ham, bacon, and cheeses.
When I was a young man serving my country in Korea, I had the opportunity to work in an orphanage for homeless children. That experience helped me decide to become an educator because those children trusted me to be there for them. Now, as a member of Congress, I think my most important work, whether it's trying to balance the nation's budget or reading a book to my granddaughter, is still being there for the children.
What does Joe Bob Pierce believe? Joe Bob Pierce believes abortion should be legally available through the 9th month of pregnancy. Joe Bob Pierce supports taxpayer funding of abortion. That's why Joe Bob Pierce has been endorsed by Personal PAC. Personal PAC believes homosexuals should have the right to marry and adopt children. Joe Bob Pierce is too extreme for Southern Illinois.
The kickoff by Williams, downfield. Clemmer picks it up at the 20, 25, works the right side 30, and cuts out at around the 33-yard line. That's where Carlyle takes over. And look who comes in. The quarterback is Grant Heinzman. He returns to the game. Well, following the kickoff return by Clemmer, Heinzman comes into the game, so he does return to the Carlyle lineup. First and 10 Indians from their own 34. We're down to 1:59 to go. Third quarter. It's been all Mount Carmel in the third frame. Aces lead 28-14, but this has been a real tussle today here in this first round Class 3A game. Heinzman gives the pitch, and here comes Marvelous Marvis. Tackled from behind at the 37 by Joseph D. Gain of 4 by the ball carrier, second down.
There you see Gabe Williams doing a better job getting upfield, forcing everything back inside. Give those linebackers, D and Bobrick, a chance to fill it from the inside. If you can make McCline run back inside to our linebackers, you got a much better chance than if you allow them to turn the corner on you, because then it can run for a score.
Second down and 6. Carlyle breaks huddle. They go every which direction. Looks like a business meeting breaking up when they come out of the huddle. Second down. Here's the pitch to McCline. And Williams almost grabbed in the backfield. He's still got some running room. Marvis has the first down across the 45 to the 47-yard line. A gain of 10 yards. Did much of his damage after he missed a tackle or missed a chance to get him in the backfield.
They're just so elusive, so quick. Gabe Williams has a chance at him, but he's just got that extra spurt of speed, and he can bust out of a tackle so quickly. He's one of them running backs you got to have 3 or 4 guys hanging on to just to corral him and hold him in check.
First and 10, down for Carlyle. Line of scrimmage, their own 47-yard line. Under 1 minute to go here in the third period. The winner plays the winner of the Red Hill El Dorado game. Next week in the playoffs, Red Hill was leading 28-14 late in the third quarter. And an inside counter. Turner has running under the 40 inside that mark before Burbrick brings him down with a bump originally from Lewis. First on Carlyle. And a big run by Turner.
Little fullback trap that time to the fullback Turner, and he was able to find the crease, and he runs well for a big fellow. Once he was into the secondary, he showed some nice speed there and gets the first down.
Now there's 31 seconds to go here in the third period. Carlyle better hurry up. It is first and 10. Line of scrimmage is the Aces 39-yard line. They had a delay of game. Hurt one of their drives earlier in the contest. Now receivers are split, and Heinzman calls the signals, and here's the pitch to McCline. He switches directions, and Williams almost grabbed him, and finally the Aces swarm in. Brian Peter stays with him to bring him down at around the 43-yard line. A big loss of 4 on the play, and that ends the third quarter. We played 3 frames here in the first round of the Class 3A playoffs. Now Carmel has taken control in this frame, and they lead the contest 28-14. We'll be back to the stadium in just a moment.
90 years of service to the community for any business is impressive, but when you consider a bank that's been around for 90 years, it's nearly unheard of. But at the First National Bank of Allendale and Mount Carmel, we've survived the Great Depression, 2 bank robberies, and of course, a horrific tornado. But through all of that, the First National Bank has pulled through and is now Wabash County's only independent bank, investing your deposits with local people. Stop by today and experience the personal approach to banking. The First National Bank, across from Target Mount Carmel and on Main Street, Allendale, member FDIC.
For the professional electrical service that you deserve, call S.K. Smith Electrical Contractors. S.K. Smith has been providing the Wabash Valley region with commercial, residential, and industrial lighting for over 10 years. S.K. Smith also provides electrical service for farms and oil fields. Our trained and courteous technicians are always there for minor electrical repairs, troubleshooting, or even industrial wiring. Don't trust the safety of your family or co-workers to just anyone. Call S.K. Smith today. S.K. Electric, your fully bonded electrical contractors.
At Capital Planning Alliance, our mission is simple.
Our mission is to help our clients achieve an ever-increasing degree of financial independence, safely and efficiently, through a long-term tax, legal, and investment planning relationship with a trusted and knowledgeable advisor.
Capital Planning Alliance's impressive staff consists of 4 certified public accountants, an investment advisor, and legal counsel, bringing to the table over 51 years of financial planning. Call the professionals at Capital Planning Alliance at 263-3640. Capital Planning Alliance, making your money work harder for you.
Denton Drugs in Mount Carmel is your hometown drugstore. They care about you and focus on giving you fast personal service. Denton's pharmacists are very professional and will take the time necessary to make you feel comfortable with your medication. Denton's also brings you health and beauty items and great gifts like perfume and Fannie Mae candies. At Denton Drugs, the customer is always #1, so stop by and see everything that Denton's has to offer. Denton Drugs, 418 Market Street, Mount Carmel.
All right, let's go to the sidelines. Here's Kevin Madden.
All right, guys, we enter the fourth quarter. We can well see coming to play what we had talked about in the first half, that the numbers issue and the no-huddle offense with Mount Carmel could well come into play against Carlyle, wear them down. We may have seen that begin somewhat in the third quarter.
All right, we begin the fourth quarter here. Carlyle with the ball from the Aces 44, second down and 14. And Heitzman looked like a busted play, and he's dragged down for a loss back at the 46-yard line. And it'll be third and long now.
Yeah, just a busted play that time. He went back to hand the ball off to a running back, and no one was there. It looked like they were trying to run their sprint and draw play, but the drawback was nowhere to be found, and Heitzman just had to eat it and take the loss.
We do have another score from the first-round Class 3A game. DuQuoin beat Robinson today, 21-14, so DuQuoin moves on into the second round. Red Hill, as we mentioned, leading El Dorado. We have not had a score all day on Fairfield-Freeburg. We'll try to round one up for you. It's third and 16 here. One man in motion now. And Heitzman fakes. Now gets McClyde on the reverse back to the right side. Inside he works to the 40, 35, near the marker, and very close. Well, a good couple of yards away. Dragged down to the 31. What a dandy run by McClyde. He came back this way and back to the middle and picked up about how many yards there are? About 16 yards, right?
Yeah.
But still, he's a good 3 yards away from the first down. It's fourth and a long 3 from there. Line of scrimmage, the Aces 31, and Carlyle calls timeout. 10:47 for the game. Aces 28, Carlyle 14. We'll be back in a moment.
17.
Last year, we introduced Formula Shell gasoline. It's nice to see so many folks getting a kick out of it. Shell, the world's best-selling gasoline.
We know that evaluating and selecting nursing care is confusing to most people. Our staff will help you find a solution that will work for your family and fit your circumstance. We provide all levels of nursing care, including a special care unit for patients with Alzheimer's disease and VA-related disorders, along with a hospice program. Short-term or long-term care is easily arranged, and we're a Medicare-certified nursing home. General Baptist Nursing Home, where your friends care for you.
For a decade now, Pit Stop Services has served area drivers with dedicated service. Whether it's Pit Stop's famous Quick But Complete oil changes or Pit Stop's great deals on all-season radials from Michelin, Cooper, Remington, and others, Pit Stop Services has built its reputation on putting the customer first. Now Pit Stop is proud to offer ZZ Wheels. ZZ Wheels is the hottest look in wheels and features a patented interchangeable twist lock design to completely transform the look of your wheels in seconds. Drive a little, save a lot at Pit Stop Services. Make your Thanksgiving dinner a breeze with a stop at Mount Carmel Red & White's Deli Bakery. Red & White will cook your complete Thanksgiving meal, including the turkey, dressing, mashed potatoes, gravy, and all the trimmings. Red & White's Bakery even takes the work out of your Thanksgiving dessert with fresh-made pumpkin pies, cakes, and cookies. This Thanksgiving, spend more time with your family and friends and less time in the kitchen. Let Red & White do the work. Red & White open 24 hours a day at 9th and Walnut.
What does Joe Bob Pierce believe? Joe Bob Pierce believes abortion should be legally available through the 9th month of pregnancy. Joe Bob Pierce supports taxpayer funding of abortion. That's why Joe Bob Pierce has been endorsed by Personal PAC. Personal PAC believes homosexuals should have the right to marry and adopt children. Joe Bob Pierce is too extreme for Southern Illinois.
Here at Riverview Stadium, Scott Allen, Rob Blackman, Rick Johnston, Kevin Madden. Mount Carmel leading Carlyle 28-14 here in the first round of the Class 3A playoffs. Checking out wide to the left is Chris Hammond. One setback, that's McCline, and one man in motion, Turner. And here is McCline with Turner leading away. He breaks free in the 25, inside the 20. Nice bust up the middle by McCline, all the way to the 19-yard line, and a pickup of 13 on the play.
So explosive out of that first step. Correct me if I'm wrong, too, but that's the first time since the very first play of the game that we've seen that kind of short motion out of that slot back. And, the first play of the game, he broke it to the outside. That time he came back inside. McCline, listen to this, 22 carries, 188 yards.
Holy
not a bad day for that young man.
And 65 on the very first play of the game for a touchdown. That got Carlyle off and running. It's now 28-14, Mount Carmel. And here's Turner. Back to the left side he goes. He grabs him low, and everybody else grabs him high. Maybe he got a yard, maybe two, to around the 18-yard line. It'll be second down from there. 2nd and 9.
Well, if Carlyle can put a score in here, it certainly keeps it interesting. If Mount Carmel can get a defensive stand and get the ball back, we got to figure Carlyle maybe will have 2 more possessions in this ball game, 3 possibly at the most. So important for the Aces defense to keep him out this time around.
Well, I thought Steckler was favoring his right leg a little bit. I thought he was tiptoeing around him there, but he looks okay. 2nd down and 9 as he lines it up on defense. Heitzman calls the signal, says one man in motion. Here's the pitch to McCline. He sweeps the right side to the 15, wraps by 1 to the 10, still on his feet, down to the 7-yard line. I don't know how he does it. Another first down for Carlyle. It's 1st and goal from there after the run by McCline.
Well, it's one thing to be fast, and it's one thing to run hard, but if you're fast and you run hard, like Marvelous Morris does, you're awful tough to defend, and we've talked about him all game. I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but this is, without a doubt, in my mind, the finest running back we've faced all season.
Now, Carlyle has it just 7 yards away, so the Aces have scored the last 2 touchdowns in this game, but Carlyle can get themselves right back into it here. They're back within 1 play mode if they can score here. 9:29 to go in the game, and here's Heitzman setting the club down. He gives off to Marvis, who gallops through the middle, down inside the 5, down near the goal line. He's very close, down to around the 1 and the 2.
Yeah, he's right at the marker, right at the goal line, I should say. He was awful close, right at the goal line.
And he's down to the 1 inside that mark, actually. It'll be 2nd and goal from there for Carlyle. This is a huge score for them, isn't it?
It's like Eric McKinney has checked into the ballgame now, knows.
Let's get one of those submarine moves, Eric, right now. It is 2nd and goal from the 1-yard line. Heitzman sets the club down. He has Turner behind him now. And the quarterback tries to keep and get in. He does. Just over center. Touchdown Carlyle with 8:44 to go. You saw Marvis was way over on the left side, lined up at wide receiver. That makes the score 28-20, and then makes this extra point decision. A very important one as well. Well, 44 for the game.
A little deja vu. We did the quarterback sneak for the touchdown, and Carlyle does the same. And they have certainly made the game interesting now with that touchdown.
And the Indians, who have gone for 2 all day, are going to do it again. 2 wide receivers come way over here, wide to the right side. Meanwhile, the Indians line it up over on the short side. Yep. And here is the quarterback, Heitzman. He lines it up, gives to McCline. He fumbles the ball and is dropped short of the goal line. He never really did get a good handoff. And the coach is upset, not just at the quarterback, but at the running back for that bad connection. So the 2 points go awry. 8:44 for the game. Mount Carmel leads 28-20. Back in a moment.
18-18.
Security Bank is your bank for life, all your life, and for all your financial needs. And no matter how much your needs change, we'll always keep you moving in the right direction to get you safely where you want to be. We offer a full range of financial services, so we can do a lot for you now and in the future. From simple checking to good living loans for any reason, we're here to serve your financial needs every step of the way. Security Bank, your bank for life.
Electric wires are too high to touch.
Wrong. Overhead wires are insulated.
Wrong. Wood does not conduct electricity. Wrong. What you don't know can hurt you.
Take care around electricity.
Committed to quality. It's a pretty simple statement, but at Wabash General Hospital, it means so much more. Committed to quality is Wabash General's promise to stay abreast of modern medical treatment and technology, provide kind and compassionate care, and maintain the high standards of medical excellence that the community expects and deserves. Wabash General provides modern medical technology, a highly skilled staff, and a commitment to our community to offer quality, compassionate care close to home. That's Wabash General Hospital, Mount Carmel.
Mount Carmel's full-service car care center is Southern Illinois Tire on West 3rd Street. Southern Illinois Tire's quality service technicians handle everything from front end alignment, transmission service, brakes, oil changes, mufflers, and of course tires. Southern Illinois Tire has the brand name tires you're looking for from Firestone, Michelin, General, and others, all at a price that can't be beaten. Southern Illinois Tires, 1121 West 3rd Street, Mount Carmel.
Carmel calls a timeout. Oh, an onside kick. Okay.
Oh, hands.
Okay, the Aces called timeout before Carlyle's kick, I believe. We must be playing, we think Carlyle's going to deliver an onside kick.
Yeah, we brought on the good hands team. We had our original regular return team up first, and then we switched and came with a good hands team, and we took a timeout to do so. So I see now guys like the likes of Loveless and Snow are up on the front line now to defend in case the onside kick would happen to come. So good move by the Aces coaching staff to recognize that.
Okay, 8:44 to go in the contest. Oh, I thought I had it for a moment.
Okay.
All right, we'll see what happens now. Carlyle will be kicking off again. Now Carmel leads 28-20. Actually, we'll be kicking off for the first time here. This is the kick by Justin Brothers.
And again, the Aces hands team at the front line.
And if it is an onside kick, it went way too far. Haywood fell on it way back at the 36-yard line. If it was an attempt at an onside, Brothers put too much on it. But Haywood recovered for the Aces. Mount Carmel takes over from there at the 36-yard line.
Good smart move by Haywood. When you got the hands team on, that means you don't have a team that really blocks real well for a return. So in that situation, if you catch the ball, just fall down, get on the ground, and get the offense out on the field.
All right, 28-20. The Aces obviously are going to have to do something with the ball here with 8:42 to go. Now Carmel is ahead, but not by much. Here comes Rafferty. Over center, he lines up in the backfield. Swanson and Casper is Loveless, the wide receiver, to the left side, Snow to the right side. Ball carrier goes nowhere. Swanson on the carry, maybe a yard. Maybe to the 37-yard line. It is 2nd and 9.
It's kind of interesting. Everybody handles this cold weather and the seating and everything a little different. You look down there along the sideline down there. We got guys standing on milk crates and coolers and snuggling up to significant others and all kind of good things down there.
We're down to 8:13 to go in this cold game. It's even colder now with the sun starting to set behind the bluff.
And now slowing.
They're taking their time here now, aren't we? Oh, that's right. We're doing mule train.
Mule train, that's right. I was thinking gravy train.
All right. He was watching assistant coach Calvin. Gets the pitch off to Casper with a block from Steckler. He cuts it into the 50-49, and it's a first down run by Casper and a run of 15 yards. Steckler just led the way there.
That's a huge first down. Keeps the chains moving, keeps the ball in our possession. Now down to 7:45 to play in this one.
So we're cognizant of the clock all the while. Lee Colvin is keeping the clock, and Rafferty looks over at him and waits, gets the message, gets the signal to get it going. Now Raff sets it down, 1st and 10, with a wing and a receiver to the left. It's bouncing up the left side of Swanson. Now up the middle, 35-30. He's finally run down with the last man from Carlyle at the 23-yard line. First down.
So you're seeing this 2-for-2 system of numbers really taking effect now. A little bit slower to get there, and just not aggressive with pop when they do get there.
Yeah, we talked about that in the first half. Let's see what would happen in the fourth quarter with Carlyle playing 9 men both ways. Looks like it's taking its toll. 1st and 10, line of scrimmage to 24 now. Rafferty looks over and will watch for the signal from Lee Colvin to get it going. And no signal yet. And there it goes. And now Chris goes to the line on 1st and 10 and gives the handoff to Casburn back to the left side, inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. And near the first down marker.
Jidge really picked it up here. At one point we were talking about how he had only 1 positive yard of rushing early in the game. He's up to 88 now on 13 carries, but it's been Justin Swanson having a career afternoon. The senior fullback, 20 carries, 134 yards, and a touchdown. He has carried the load for us in rushing the football.
6:27 to go in the game. Now here comes Rafferty up to the line on 2nd and 2. Line of scrimmage at Carlyle 16. Hands off Swanson. Bounds off left side. May get in for the touchdown. Yes! He turned a 1-yard run into a touchdown by keeping good balance and stepping inside. And that is a run of 16 yards, and the Aces now lead 34-20 with 6:17 to go in the contest.
Well, we were just talking about Justin, how he'd done the job for us this afternoon, and that 14-yard run is huge at this point because it gives us, again, a 2-touchdown cushion.
And now the Aces will try to tack on the point after. Ryan Peter holds for Gabe Williams. 34-20 is the score now, following the run by Swanson. And here comes the snap. Ball down. The kick is up, and this one is no good. Again off to the right. So, as the Aces slip a little bit in the point-after percentage, we still have a nice lead now on Carlyle. 14 points with plenty of time left, though. 34-20 is the score. We'll be back in a moment.
Security Bank says we're your bank for life. We mean it. No matter where you are in your life, we're ready to help. With a full spectrum of banking, investment, lending, and trust services, we can do a lot for you now and in the future. Plus, we can provide the resources and guidance that suit your particular financial needs and plan. It's no wonder so many people have been our valued customers for so many years. Because at Security Bank, we're committed to being your bank for life.
You'll find us just up the road from the orchard. Can't miss us. Right across the street from the grade school. Or over on Washington Avenue, a stone's throw from Green River Road. We're Welborn Clinic, the Tri-State's finest personal physicians, working together to provide advanced, cost-efficient care. Right where you want us. Right in your neighborhood, including the heart of downtown Evansville. Welborn Clinic, your total healthcare system.
Our heating and air conditioning dealer is Dave Lennox.
Actually, that's Glenn Swartz. That's Swartz Heating and Air Conditioning.
People trust Dave to keep them comfortable.
Glenn Swartz.
It's not just that Dave has the best equipment.
This is Dave. I'm Glenn.
He also passed that Lennox Quality Dealer Standards program.
Dave, Glenn.
So if you've got a problem, call Dave.
Or call Swartz Heating and Air Conditioning.
Lennox, 5,000 independent dealers, 100 years of service. One less thing to worry about.
Attaboy, Dave. Glenn.
Hey, Aces fans, after the game, meet your friends at Subway, 809 Walnut Street in Mount Carmel for a delicious sub sandwich or salad. They're open until 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturdays and until midnight Sunday through Thursday. Subway offers over 14 different varieties of 6-inch or foot-long subs, and you can create your own special sub by choosing from 8 different veggies free of charge. All subs are made with fresh baked bread, and Subway has 6 subs that have 6 or less grams of fat. Any sub can also be made as a salad. Subway, 809 Walnut Street.
Listen to what people are saying about our state representative, John O. Jones.
And we found John Jones to be a friend of Edwards County schools and education.
I'm glad that John Jones is taking the initiative to step forward and get our schools back in shape like they should be.
We have found John to be extremely easy to work with.
I don't know what we'd do without John Jones. He's been great for the community, and I'm proud to be a friend of his.
Oh, John is our friend in the Capitol.
The Wabash County Democratic Central Committee encourages you to go to the polls on Tuesday and cast your vote for Wabash County Commissioner candidate Charles Sanders and other Democratic candidates. From the courthouse to the White House, a strong group of Democratic candidates are asking for your vote. Please help them help Wabash County, Illinois, and all of America. If you would like a ride to the polls on Tuesday, please call 262-7095. This is an important election. Please vote. Vote Democratic. This message brought to you by the Wabash County Democratic Central Committee. Brenda M. Sawyer, Chairman.
Back in the stadium, Carmel leads Carlyle 34-20 here with 6:17 to go. Here is the kick. Good kick by Gabe, and Carlyle has a little trouble with it. Finally, Marvis McCline just falls on it after he and Kleber halfway collided, couldn't figure out who wanted the ball. So Carlyle takes over 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line.
Which I think is for the best. I'd just much rather them fumble it around and fall on it than McCline have a chance to return it.
Yeah, you could just see that play developing. The week gets sucked up in the overplay, and then he'd finally take charge and run with it. That would have been awful. Now 1st and 10, and here is Grant Heinzman, who is staying in the game, though we don't know the degree of injury that he suffered earlier in this half. It is 1st and 10, and the handoff is to McCline. Nothing there this time. He is stood up at the line and dropped. Let's see, D's over there. Brookrick is over there.
I think the trainer from Carlisle might be the most shocked man in the stadium if he drops back to pass right now.
2nd down and 11. That's exactly what Carlisle needs to do, and they can't do it. 5:50 to go in the game.
Yeah, they're in a real pickle here because they really need to throw the ball to get back in the game. And with the quarterback with an injured throwing arm, it makes it almost impossible to do just that.
Well, they send two out in patterns out to the right side, a slot to the right, and one other wing back to the right, and one man in motion now. And there's the handoff. Ball carrier Turner steps away from one. Now he's stood up by a host of aces. And he's going to be marked down to the 29, the 30-yard line. Gain of about 3, 3rd and 7. And we have, looks like D was getting up slowly.
Looks like he got a little stinger there.
Yeah, he did. It looks like he'll be okay, but he's going to have to walk it off a little bit. Is it more of an arm than anything, isn't it? Yep, arm and shoulder.
So I know back when you played linebacker, you took a lot on with your upper body and stuff.
That's right.
Once in a while, you kind of catch it to the collarbone. It kind of runs down the nerve endings.
After 120, 130 tackles over the course of a year, yeah. 3rd down and 7 for Carlyle. One man in motion, and here is a reverse to McCline. Gets by one, and the ace is hanging all over him, trying to drag him down. McNew stayed right with him at the 36-yard line. He's brought down shy of the marker, shy of the 10-yard marker. It'll be 4th down now. And the officials time out. 4:40 to go in the game. Looks like it'll be, well, they're going to measure it. It's closer than we thought. Ace is 34 and Carlyle 20.
We should remind our TV 12 fans.
And he's got it. Can you believe that? He's got it. Well, I thought he was short by a yard.
The replay of this Golden Aces game on Channel 12 will be Sunday at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and again Monday evening at 7 o'clock for our TV 12 fans who'd like to see the replay of this one.
Well, Red Hill was leading El Dorado. If the form chart holds on those scores, it'll be Mount Carmel at Red Hill next Saturday. That's in Bridgeport. We'll have time and ticket information when it becomes available. Can you imagine all these people trying to get into that little place next week? 1st down, and McCline stopped, got the handoff, now tries to start running again, and is met up the middle at the 39.
I think it's even bigger if you look at the big picture down the road. If we could get by Red Hill, then we would host the next round, and that is just huge. And I think, and looking at the overall picture, that's why you want a high seed, and that's why you look for the draw and the pairings. Well, it looks like we're going to Bridgeport if things play out here, folks. Kevin just gave me a score in my earpiece here. It's Red Hill 43, El Dorado 20, with just 2 minutes remaining in that ball game.
How about that? It's a rematch that Red Hill fans certainly want, but you know what? Aces fans want it too.
I think so. You're exactly right.
Second down and 7. There won't be any overconfidence on the part of Mount Carmel next week against Red Hill. None whatsoever. And there is McCline working to the left side. He's dropped it around the 42 because we were behind the final 2 minutes of the game.
Well, I talked to Bill Evans a little bit Wednesday night when we had a rules meeting at Fairfield, and one of the things I think they were going to try to do was go back to spreading the field a little bit, letting Billy Gray go back to more of a wide-open offense, because in the middle of the season, after we played them, they went more into the traditional wishbone and double tight end set. So it's going to be very interesting to see what kind of operation they come in here this game next week.
And it didn't seem as if they were as successful after Mount Carmel as we thought they should have been based on the way they played us. Third down and 4, and here is McCline. Swinging out wide to the right side to the 45, 50 down the right sideline, ducks his head and rolls to the 43. That's a first down for Carlyle. They're going to mark him actually at the 45.
Well, again, we see McCline just doing the bulk of the ball carrying. He's carried the ball 29 times today, and we knew coming into this one he'd probably carry it 30. He's got 29 carries right now, 228 yards for that young man.
2:30 to go in the contest. And, you know, we had so many of our tough games early and so many of our romps late in the season that to a point we might not have been ready for how much we have to step it up in the playoffs, but we took charge in the second half. Carlyle is a perfect example of what can happen if you're not ready for the playoffs. And there's a handoff, ball carried to the 40.
I'll tell you what, fellas, that's not a handoff. They practiced that play in pregame. I would have laid that thing down on the ground in pregame.
On the ground, did he? And McCline picked it up?
Yeah, they set it on the ground, and McCline picked it up and ran for 5 yards.
Second down and 5.
I couldn't figure out what they were doing in the pregame when they ran that a couple times. That's a set play.
Well, why would they run it in the pregame anyway? I think you wouldn't want to run that. Again, I guess we didn't have anybody watching them. Of course, who would figure, huh?
Well, I guess had the eagle eye down there. I guess we're going to run 5,000 things, and maybe you're not going to pick them all up, huh?
1:34 to go. That's a lot of reps during pregame all of them. And now here's Heinzman, the quarterback. A little motion on the left side of the line, but they didn't call anything.
There's a sprint draw, Rob.
And the ball carrier again. McCline did nothing to the 41 DeFoo in there, along with, let's see who else looks like this.
The sprint draw kind of turned into a jog drop. Yeah. Really, I'd say Carlisle's just so hampered right now on offense because of the inability to throw the football. I mean, they've ran the ball every play since the injury to Heinzman, and it's really made them so one-dimensional. They haven't had the offensive explosion they had in the first half.
So the Aces now can begin to think about next week. One would imagine 52 seconds to go. A lot of stuff is going to have to happen badly to Mount Carmel now. We lead by 14 points. And here is the pitch to Marvis. He has McNew hanging on him. McNew rides him down at the 39-yard line, and it'll bring up fourth down. Carlyle has been a very game opponent. They took us to the deck in the first half, 14-all, shocked us on the very first play of the game, went 65 yards from McCline, and it took us most of the half to recover, and we got ahead and they bounced back, and it was tied at halftime, 14-all. Then we scored twice in the third quarter. 11 seconds to go in the game, and now the Aces are starting to celebrate. Carlyle walks onto the field, and Mount Carmel has won the first round of the Class 3A playoffs, and they go to 10-0 with a 34-20 win over Carlyle. The Aces move on into the second round, where they will play at Red Hill, we imagine, next week. A rematch of two AAC schools from early in the year. What a dandy game that ought to be. And what a good game this was. Mount Carmel pulled away in the second half and won it 34-20. We'll be back to wrap it up. We'll visit with Aces coach John Hardemore here in just a moment.
Okay, 1 minute
When you're looking for the best in checking, look no further than the Bank of Mount Carmel. Whether you want the convenience of free checking with unlimited withdrawals, the popular Bank Club account with its many benefits, or an interest-bearing Now or Super Now account, we have a checking option that's just right for you. Bank of Mount Carmel even offers the special Star account based on money market interest rates. When you need checking with the best flexibility and benefits, look for the sign of complete friendly banking services. Look for Bank of Mount Carmel, located at the corner of 6th and Market Street, Mount Carmel, Illinois.
For over 70 years, Mount Carmel Sand and Gravel has served the Wabash Valley area with all grades of sand and gravel. Since starting in 1924, Mount Carmel Sand and Gravel has added concrete, oil and chip, and a variety of crushed stone to their product line. And now Sand and Gravel is continuing to grow. Their road construction division has pioneered a specialty in soil stabilization that has taken them to hundreds of projects in 8 states. Whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial, call Mount Carmel Sand and Gravel.
One but 2 quarter-pound beef patties, 3 slices of melted cheese, 8 strips of crispy bacon. They say the world is getting smaller, but what's really happened is that the burger has gotten bigger. Introducing the Monster Burger, only from Hardee's. What will they think of next? Breakfast is in the Monster Omelet Biscuit with plenty of ham, bacon, and cheeses.
When I was a young man serving my country in Korea, I had the opportunity to work in an orphanage for homeless children. That experience helped me decide to become an educator because those children trusted me to be there for them. Now, as a member of Congress, I think my most important work, whether it's trying to balance the nation's budget or reading a book to my granddaughter, is still being there for the children.
Listen to what people are saying about our state representative, John O. Jones.
And we found John Jones to be a friend of Edwards County schools and education.
I'm glad that John Jones is taking the initiative to step forward and get our schools back in shape like they should be.
We have found John to be extremely easy to work with.
I don't know what we'd do without John Jones. He's been great for the community, and I'm proud to be a friend of his.
Oh, John is our friend in the Capitol.
Score Mount Carmel 34 and Carlyle 20. The Aces improved to 10-0 in the year and move on to the second round of the Class 3A playoffs. Next week, the Aces head north to Bridgeport to face the Red Hill Salukis, a rematch of a game won by the Aces on a 91-yard pass play with about 2:19 to go in that first-round matchup. Well, the Aces have already broken up their post-game conversation. Kind of short one. It says cold. John Hart's moving into position to visit with our own Kevin Madden. Let's go to the field for that interview following today's Aces win. Kevin?
All right, Scott, thanks a lot. Coach, you said they'd be tough coming in. I don't know how many people really believed you, but Carlyle, a tough team.
Well, number 5 is the best player I've seen in a long, long time. He really can do it all, and I tell you what, if it wasn't for, some great play and some name swingers, I tell you what, been right to the last buzzer to see who won the football game.
That play that Craig was open all day long, they just didn't have anyone tall enough really to take care of that.
Well, I tell you, the way they stacked up, we had to throw the football. I mean, we didn't have any choice because they were going to take the run away from us, and they were really submarining underneath it, so they gave us that option, and we took it.
Coach, looking at the running of Justin really provided the spark this afternoon, especially in the second half.
Well, I tell you, somebody we've worked on a lot throughout the last half of the season, and we really needed him to be able to do that, and he came through for us.
Look at the play of the defense. Defense got burned in the very first play of the game, and then they really came back, and really it's almost like you couldn't stop him, but at least you were able to contain him.
Yeah, I'll tell you, the first play of the game was really a little bit of our fault as the coaches. We didn't get really the proper alignment for that set. I told Coach, I said, man, you guys got 50 sets. How do you do that? That's really, literally, we had 50 sets on him. And he said, well, 2 more. He goes, but I can't tell you what they're going to be. And he came up with a couple more. So he's one of the finest coaches I've worked against.
Coach, looking now to next week, a rematch against Red Hill up at Bridgeport. Any thoughts looking ahead now?
Well, that's going to be a great ball game. I would think there'll be a couple thousand people at that ball game because they're going to see the ball game of Southern Illinois, I think, right there, for that week at least. Anyhow, Freeburg would be that's going to be a heck of a ball game.
Coach, congratulations. We'll talk to you next week.
Okay, thanks, Coach.
Mount Carmel coach John Hart, after the Aces win this afternoon against the Carlyle Indians, they go to Bridgeport next week.
All right, thanks, Kevin. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, some final statistics. We'll also get you your play of the game. Stay with us.
This is Rob Blackman. Rob.
All right. Here we go with the most popular show on television today. Right after Friends. Here we go, gang, in 3, 2, 1. Hi, everybody, and good evening. Rob Blackman. I'm about ready to drop the microphone alongside Aces coach John Hart. It's another Thursday night and time for another edition of Coach's Corner. Once again, the mobile crew of Coach and myself are on the road tonight at Norm's Barbershop. And for good reason, Coach. One, he cuts a pretty mean haircut, but two, he's awful good at the football program as well.
Yeah, you don't get a better football person than Norm, and you got to love coming in here and having to talk about it because you don't get out of here without him telling some kid will be sitting over there, and every time he'll say, he goes, "Hey, do you like that stupid old coach of ours?" And that kid will look at me and he'll look back and forth to make sure I'm the football coach, and then. And then it kind of goes on. It's a play every time. It's always good.
And a lot of the players, I'd have to say a majority of the players get their hair cut here too.
Well, all of them but the sissies. I'm sure somebody like Mark Fisher doesn't get his hair cut here.
Well, they go to beauticians, whatever they're called.
Yeah, well, for him, I'd call it an ugly titian.
And we're off and flying again. Hey, welcome to Coach's Corner. Lots to talk about tonight. The playoff pairings are set. Mount Carmel to play host to the Carlyle Indians this Saturday. We'll talk about that.
I called it last week, didn't I? I called it Carlyle.
All right, Carlyle. Yeah, it was somewhere in there between Newton, Fairfield, and Heron. But interesting, Coach, and we'll talk more in depth about the playoffs. But it kind of switched us up a little bit in Class 3A. Instead of the 1 through 32 true seeds, they split it into the North and South, made a civil war out of it with 16 seeds in each division.
Well, and probably justifiably so. If you look at the 3A bracket, there is a North and South division with very few teams in the middle, so you about got to do that. In 5 and 6A, where they actually did stick to what they said, that most of it's in the North, so there's no really – there are a few commutes, but that's not too bad. Right. And then as you get into 4, 3, and 2, it really gets, it's spread out all over. And then you get in 1, and they went back to the 4-8 team bracket because there's just little clusters of 1A teams all over the place.
Interesting, Coach. 4 teams from the North Egypt Conference made the playoffs. After a year when it started, everyone said the NEC was down. It doesn't look like they're down to me.
No, but I tell you, they've got some tough draws. Thank God we went 9-0 because and this team is a total surprise. I don't know that I wouldn't pick a couple of the teams that some of the teams are playing, but boy, they got some tough draws. Fairfield opens up with Freeburg, and I've heard they're outstanding. And Red Hill's got El Dorado, which is going to be a real interesting matchup. And then Salem, I thought they got a real good draw out of St. Jacob Triad because I figured they would get a 9-0 team. Mm. They're 8-1, but somebody said they're about 300 pounds all the way across.
Mm. Salem will open up on Friday night. The other 3, Coach mentioned, play on Saturday. Coach, before we get too far, let us remind the folks we've got our special guest tonight. Norm will join us. He'll talk Aces football with us. Also, any players coming tonight? I guess we have not much show prep here tonight. Is it just the 3 of us, I guess?
Yeah, I tell you what, with playoffs, I run so darn ragged. Twice, for the first night, we came up with a defensive scheme. We worked all over through the weekend, and we just finally about 10 o'clock on Sunday, we'd kind of figured out what we were going to do, and we went out and ran it Monday, which is pretty typical, and found out that all of it was a waste of time and trashed it and went to another scheme. And so Darren was back at my house Monday night, and again, you thank the Lord for a lot of different things, but I'll take mine for Darren Peach because he's a heck of a coach and he's very enduring. And he came back to my house, and it was about 8:30, 8:45. Wanted to put his boy Dalton to bed, and I'm sitting in a chair passed out. So it's a little draining, but it's also the funnest thing you can go through. It's a labor of love, and that's what we were talking with Norm about just a second ago. I said, you ever get tired of cutting hair? And he said, no, you never get tired of something you really like to do.
Right.
And he said, well, maybe once in a while, but you know.
Coach, I tell you what, before we move on to playoffs and get into all that, I know it's what people want to talk about. Let's take one quick second to revisit the Mount Vernon Rams. Came into our place last Friday night, the regular season finale, a huge game for us to go 9-0, get that #1 seed. After really that goal line stand after their first series, it seemed to take the wind out of their sails. And offensively, I don't know that we could have been any more perfect in the first half, scoring 4 of the 5 times we had the football. Pretty good game against a much bigger school with a lot of talent.
Yeah, I was really, really pleased. And they did, 2 of their kids didn't show up. Well, they showed up, but they were on discipline matters. But their wide receiver and their halfback wasn't a real big player. The fullback, who just got off a suspension for discipline problems, was the real good player and hurt us a little bit in the first half, and I think we put him out of the ball game. But it was a great game. Defensively, we really started playing a lot better, especially after that first series. And offensively, I don't know that a team's ever played better in a first half against a good opponent than what we did.
Great tune-up for you as you prepare for the playoffs. I would certainly think so.
Well, yeah, I tell you, one of the things was they double-teamed Craig,
right.
And they also tried to take all of our lateral speed away, and we combated both those, and we didn't allow them to do anything to us. We dictated what we wanted to do.
Did the score surprise you against a team of that caliber, the 32-7? Did you think you'd get the Rams that good?
Early in the year, no, it wouldn't have, because I thought we were going to be an awful good ball club. Middle of the year, I'd have been surprised that we won. And I tell you, the last 5 ball games, you can really see this team starting to gear up and get ready for the playoffs. And the thing is, as you prepare for the playoffs and you start, rising, is that all you got to do is have 48 minutes of downfall, right, and you're home. And I tell you what, this team's good enough to do it to us.
Aces won that game 32-7. They are 9-0 as they finish the regular season, #1 seed in the South as we begin playoffs this coming Saturday in Mount Carmel. Stay with us when we come back. Norm will join us. He'll talk some Aces football with Aces coach John Hart, and then we'll also come back and talk more playoffs. We'll look in depth at the Carlyle Indians. They're 6-3, but they've won a state championship, so they know what it's like. Stay with us. We'll be back after this. Man, are we good? Norm, why don't you sit up here, and I'll let you and John just...
Why don't you get in and scoot down for you? We'll put the talk. Yeah. That's heavy. Well, should be working out.
Man, we're rolling.
Don't ask me anything tough.
3, 2, 1. Norm, how we doing?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Good. And the reason why I asked him that is because he told me not to ask him anything tough. And, you know, I've been in some deep intellectual conversations with you, and I've yet to win one, so I thought I wanted to start real easy where you wouldn't be coming back on me.
I appreciate that.
Now, good. Now, I'd like to know how many foreheads you've kissed in how many years?
34. But it was the back of the head, not the front of the head.
The front of the head. Well, he kissed me all over. I just
no.
So I just, I was a little concerned, but he does cuts great hair. All right. So Norm, talking about this year's football team, if you notice, Norm's getting taller.
Yeah, you scooted down.
Oh, that's what it was. It started hurting my back, so I had to give him. Hey, you've seen this ball club. What do you think of them so far?
I'm really impressed. I'm impressed on the field and off the field. You got a bunch of good boys.
Yeah, you know, one of the things, and I'm glad you said that, Norm, because we've got, I think, 11, I may be wrong here, and Vicki Bain, the National Honor Society sponsor, will probably correct me, but I think we have 11 juniors and seniors on the National Honor Society, which is probably the elite club in the entire school, because it's based on not only academics, but also your manners, and you have to be recommended by a few teachers.
That's true. Like Chris Rafferty. Well, you could name bunches of them, but to tell him he played a good game, it just embarrasses the tar out of him. And he's a good kid, good boy. A bunch of them are, though.
He's hard to like, isn't he, Rafferty? Yeah, he's such a punk.
But look who his folks are. You know.
Yeah, you got to like him for that. So what impresses you as we talk? You talk to more of the town people than anybody. I can definitely say you talk to more people than anybody. What do you think the town's perception of this ball club is, and what makes it a little different?
We can do so many things. Last year we had Lang that runs so tough, and Newman too. But this year you got so many things. The passing game's going good. You can run. You've got so many boys, so much depth, and it's a well-balanced team.
Yeah, and I tell you, we do a lot more than what we've ever done as far as the amount of plays. And boy, this team we're playing Carlyle, that I've never seen so many plays. I mean, the dictionary doesn't have that many words. I tell you what, we name our plays after states and numbers.
Yeah.
We'd have to go continental. I mean, this is they've got a ton of plays, and all this gray hair you see here, it's because it's blonde. It's not gray.
That's true.
Okay, thanks, Norm. It's basically from trying to defend so many formations and so many different plays. But you have extreme confidence in me and the coaches, right?
Right. I do. I don't think it. Well, I better not say too much. I think we'll be fine.
Hey, let's talk a little bit about Bill Straw. My line assistant. He
gave me the only ticket I've ever got in my life.
Oh, Nelly, let's really talk about him. Hey, now remember, this is a PG thing. Right?
Yeah.
It's a G.
Yeah.
A G.
Yeah, G.
Yeah. So, how many times have you cut his hair?
Never have.
Yeah.
You can look at his hair and tell that.
Oh, that was unled on.
But true.
Yeah, it's a good thing he's a good coach. You think so?
He is a good coach.
Yeah, how about a good cop? What do you think about that?
I think he is a good coach. Yeah, I think he's good.
Yeah, there's been rumors that he's going to take over the Kojak series.
I'm not touching that. He'll give me my second ticket.
I'd tell you a funny story about, and I don't know why we're actually talking about Coach Straw and the fact that he does a good job, but we were up in a hotel at a coach's clinic, and I grabbed him from behind, and we do a thing that Gary Fortner taught us. It's a kidney slap. So I slapped him in the kidney a couple times, because I jumped him from behind. And he turned me around, had my arm wrapped up around my ears about, I had to threaten to fire him just to get him to let me go.
If I was going to jump him, I'd jump him from behind, too.
With a ball bat.
Yeah.
So, Norm, the forecast of snow, how many snow games have you seen in 30... What are you, 35, aren't you?
Well, a couple years older than that. But I don't remember. It snowed when I was our senior year at Olney. We had another game to go, but it snowed up there, but it wasn't sticking. But I remember Bloomington that first year we played up there. I think it spit snow all day long, windy.
Yeah, that was a cold,
it was
miserable day as far as the weather.
If we'd been winning, it'd been a little bit warmer, but.
Oh, you mean the first time they went up?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that makes it just a flat, miserable day.
It was bad all the way around. Long drive home.
So, well, what else do you want to talk about, Norm? You want to talk about fishing?
I know a lot about fishing.
Do you?
Yep.
What's the biggest fish you ever caught?
Truthfully?
Yeah.
8 pounds and 2 ounces. Bass. It's right up there on the wall.
Oh, let's get the shot. Yeah, that mouth is as big as my son. Yeah, that's a monster. Well, Norm, we better wrap up here pretty soon. Last couple things we want to talk about a little bit. The playoffs. We've got Carlyle, and if we're lucky enough to win that, we get the winner of Red Hill and El Dorado, and if we win that, we probably will get the winner of DeCoin and Freeburg.
Let me add one thing. I hope Bridgeport wins. Bridgeport gave us the best game this year. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't because we were down. They were good. They played a good game, but everybody said, well, they beat us. But not on the scoreboard. And I like to prove that that's not true. That Gray's tough, and they had a good team. That end they had was tough, but I'd like to play them again.
I would too, and it's not a revenge factor because we won in the first place. But to me, I didn't feel like we played that well, and that's a very acute thing to say because it was a ball game where I was disappointed after winning, even though you're somewhat happy that you won. But I was disappointed that we didn't put our best foot forward, and that's what we emphasize right now, and that's what happened when we hosted DeCoin about a year ago.
Yeah. Now after when we scored that last time, then we had the goal line stand. We played real tough then, but I don't think we played as bad as they just had a good ball team. They were up for the game and they were undefeated, and And I'm not taking anything. That's not a grudge
Right.
match. I just like to prove that we're a better ball team than they are.
Yeah, me too. And you're right. They are an excellent football team, well coached, and we hope they have a bus wreck. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Okay, we'll be right back with Rob and talk a little bit more about the playoffs. Norm, as always, if I'm not getting my hair cut, it's still a treat to talk to you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. You didn't ask me anything too hard. Bless your heart.
And let's just get too easy. Okay, segment 3 in 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. I almost said the nightly 12 news. Is this awful or what? Rob Blackman, John Hart. Time now for segment 3 of Coach's Corner. That's probably one of the more enjoyable segments of Coach's Corner we had because you guys didn't really talk a lot about football. Because when you think about it, that's all we talk is football on Coach's Corner.
Well, that makes sense, or they probably would call it
Well, yeah, you're right.
Rob and John's half an hour of
nonsense
rambling. Yeah. But I don't say this because Norm's in the room, but from almost the first time I came into Mount Carmel, he's been one of the guys that was so supportive, and he reminds me of a lot of people that I respect most in my life. Is that his heart, he speaks with his heart, and whether you disagree or agree, you always respect him for that point.
Coach, let's fast forward to the Carlyle Indians. They visit Riverview Stadium this Saturday. Game time 2 o'clock, in case you haven't heard. Gates open at noon. It's another playoff game in Mount Carmel. We've come accustomed to having these home games here in the last few years after not having any for a while. First off, how big advantage is the home field? A big one, I would certainly think.
Well, you'd like to think everything's an advantage. I don't think it's one that you can rest your moral, your whole value package on. And I'm stuttering around here a little bit, but what we talk about with the kids is that your work habits, that's advantage. Our players, we think we have better players than anybody else. We don't think we have the best player ever, but we think we have better players than other people. We think this field in the atmosphere is an advantage. So, and that's what we talked about when going into the Mount Vernon game. We want every advantage we can possibly think of going into the playoffs, and we did. Carlyle may very well win this ball game, but we created a good matchup for us. So we put ourselves in a position to succeed.
The Indians come in 6-3. For those not familiar, they're a member of the Cahokia Conference, which was won this year by Freeburg. Their only losses have come at the hands of Freeburg as well as Vandalia and Columbia, which was a minor upset really for them. The Indians are coached by Mr. Gary Wheeler, who, believe it or not, interesting trivia I just learned earlier tonight, has been at Carlisle since the inception of football there. He was there in 1974 as an assistant. He was on the staff when they won it all in 1988, won the Class 2A state championship. So I think this guy knows football, and you're a pretty good friend of his too, I know.
Right. Now, I think he was the head coach. I know he was the head coach in 88. I thought he was
when they won state, right. But an assistant when they started football in 74.
Oh, is that right? Well, I didn't know that. No,
That's what Coach Colvin told me.
Well, and Coach Colvin knows because I got to run 5 stadiums because he knows. It took him 7 years to find something I didn't know. And and man, has he been rubbing it in. So we won't even talk about what it was.
Okay.
So, going back to Coach Wheeler, I think the thing, if you watch the Mount Vernon game, you thought, boy, there's a bunch of great athletes without a purpose.
Right.
And it's really not Coach Curtis has got a great record where he's been at before, but there's not a lot of discipline and unity there. But boy, at Carlisle, those kids, I said they have 12,000 formations and maybe a couple 100,000 plays. They run every single one of them like they've ran them all their lives. So I'm really, really impressed with what they do and how they do it.
I thought one interesting point is I watched practice earlier today, Wednesday. You guys got to talking about the fact that they only have 24 or 25 guys on the roster, including 2 freshmen. But Coach Wheeler gets every single ounce of energy and effort out of each guy. I mean, it's like 12 undersized guys that get each and everything out of themselves, and it makes them awful tough to compete with.
Yeah, and really they're not undersized, and they are tremendous athletes. And all I got to do is remind some bad thoughts of a couple years ago, and that's Carlinville, the last time we played a 2A ball club, and they were outstanding. And they had about 4 or 5 great athletes, and so does Carlyle. I mean, their halfback is probably the best we've seen, better than the Murfreesboro kid, really. I think he's that good all around. He runs tough inside and does the whole thing. So I think, and then they got a real good, solid fullback, and they got a real good, real good defensive and offensive tackle. So I mean, they've got some players in a split in the state class speed. This team creates a lot of mismatches, and with their coach, he takes advantage of all of them. Matter of fact, it was unique. I was talking about it with boosters today. Is that you can see him setting up plays when you're watching film. It's like he sets up a play, and whether it succeeds or doesn't succeed, you can tell he saw something. He goes away from it. A couple plays later, comes back to that formation. Boom, touchdown. And if you don't match up correctly, he'll find it, and he'll find something on us.
Carlyle stingy on defense, allowing only 2 touchdowns a game. Not a high-powered offense. They're only averaging 24 points a game. But nonetheless, it's one of those chess matches that you hate to get into with a guy with the record that Coach Wheeler has, because he's one of them guys that can flat-out out-coach you if you give him the opportunity.
Exactly. And I don't want to be in that position. I don't want somebody to say, hey, well, you out-coached Coach Wheeler and we won by 1 point. I just assume someone say, hey, our kids outplayed their kids. Because you just don't out-coach people that do a really, really good job. You just try to get your kids prepared for all the things that can possibly happen. And we feel pretty good. At this point, we feel like our kids really understand what can happen out of what they do, no matter if they haven't done it yet. And if you get that done and our kids feel sure about themselves, then you like your chances of success. But it's something that's kind of scary, because you go out and you play a team that you obviously are favored in, and we're favored, but all you got to do is have a couple of screw ups. You just lay back just for a couple minutes, and everything you've put into a season is over. And not that it wouldn't be still successful, but it's over before you're prepared for it to be over.
Stay with us, folks. When we come back, some final thoughts on Coach's Corner as we wrap up this Thursday night edition. We'll be back right after this. Oh, about 5 minutes. Anything I'm missing we need to talk about?
Snow. They're talking about snow now. Have you heard that?
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
How much are they talking? Flurries?
No, they're talking like 45 degrees in sunshine on Saturday.
Yeah, I know. We're talking about snow tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow? Yeah. Yeah, but not for the game. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I do need to go in. Good point. I do need to go in.
The game is, tell them they don't come. We're going to sit in Grand Rapids after.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. Some final thoughts here in Coach's Corner. Rob Blackman and John Hart from Norm's Barbershop tonight. Thanks to Norm for allowing us to be here this evening. A couple of, just some tidbits to get out of the way. Game time, 2 o'clock Saturday. Gates open at noon. $3, despite your age, $3 to get in the gate. Also, no season tickets are not honored, obviously, for the postseason. So I guess we want to invite fans to come down early and get the tailgating and the atmosphere going. Surely there'll be a good show of Aces fans, I would think.
I tell you, that's one of the things we talked about. And the Belleville newspaper called me today, and we were talking. And he said, I want to come and just see the atmosphere, because we hear so much about the atmosphere. He said, how many people will be there? And I said, well, I'd be disappointed if we don't have 3,000. And Coach Cheeseman looked at me, and he put up his finger, and he said 5,000. And I think it's pretty typical that we get between 3,000 and 5,000 at playoffs, which is absolutely unheard of in the state of Illinois, almost at any size of school, let alone one our size. So the community does so much for this program. It doesn't succeed, no matter how good our players are or how good the coaches are or are not. It doesn't succeed if it doesn't get the support, and that's what we get. We get a ton of support.
We should make a note. We got to talking about Coach Gary Wheeler, head coach of the Indians, a minute ago. He knows what Mount Carmel football is about. He's actually a Florida graduate, so it's not like the Indians will be coming in here not really knowing. At least the head coach has a real good idea about what goes on in Mount Carmel. So he will know when he comes traveling here with his ball club on Saturday. Coach, as we look around the rest of the 3A playoffs, and 4A, we'll throw in Friday night's game, St. Jacob Triad and Salem. Not to put you on the hot seat, but any predictions? We'll begin with Salem, St. Jacob Triad. Can the Wildcats get St. Jacob?
If they do it, it'll be a real low point
total.
Yeah, thank you very much. And it'll be something where Salem gets a break. Otherwise, from what I understand, they're awful tough and awful big up front, so they have a tough time getting Minton on track.
Freeburg and Fairfield, of course, the Mules hobbled because their starting quarterback, John Warren, out with an ankle injury. Your thoughts on that one?
Well, I tell you, as good a job as Coach Hadfield does, and as hard as those kids play over there without Warren, I don't think they have a chance in that ball game. And with Warren, it becomes awful tough because they got a huge running back, I guess, from when talking to the Belleville newspaper, and their quarterback's coming back for this ball game. I thought he'd already been back, but he's going to play this ball game. The senior is, so they become a much more dangerous ball club. And I guess they got a whole bunch of skilled kids that'll really make it tough on Fairfield.
Right. Robinson, DuQuoin, can the Maroons pull off the minor upset?
Well, I hope so because that guys don't like DuQuoin. No. Actually, they're a lot like Robinson. Their coach is not a bad guy, and their kids are and they do such a good job. I can't say they're good guys because I've not beaten DuQuoin. So, I mean, I would do anything to beat those guys. I mean, it wouldn't, but. Very little chance against DuQuoin as well as they're playing right now, and as well as Robinson can play. I think they're a year away maybe.
Right. Game of the 3A playoffs to watch may be that El Dorado Red Hill game. Are the Eagles for real? I guess we'll find out Saturday.
I seen them play, and I tell you what, I think the difference there would be is I can't talk tonight.
Man, you're it's playoff week. We expect this.
Yeah. I think the difference there will be how much. If Red Hill gets in the wishbone, I think that gives El Dorado a better chance. And not that Red Hill's not just as good in the wishbone as they are out of it, but I think when you bring the wishbone in real tight like what they do, it allows you to compensate a little bit on defense too. Now the thing is, it sounds funny, if you're the better team and you're in the wishbone, I think it kind of gives the lesser team more of an opportunity. And if you're the lesser team and you're in the wishbone, I think it gives the wishbone a better chance to succeed. I think it increases your chances better than most offenses. So that's a toss of the coin, and we'll see.
All right, Coach. So I guess final thoughts on the Carlyle game Saturday. The Aces to be successful, what do we have to do?
Well, they got a great running back. If you guys see him, it'll be number 5, and I think it's McMillan. I always get the name mixed up, but he's just outstanding. He runs like Johnny Joe Lang, and I tell you, Coach and I were talking, Coach Peach and I on the way down, and he said, "Boy, wish we could suit up Lang for scout team to see what kind of runner he is, because he runs really, really hard, but he's really fast, and that player really bothers me. So I'd rather almost face a really, really fast guy, as opposed to one that hits and spins and keeps going. And then they got a wide receiver that we've got to keep contained. That's his brother, and his number is number 7. So those two guys, I'd say, would be the key to the ball game.
Coach, good luck to you Saturday. We certainly hope we're talking about next Saturday's ball game come next Thursday.
Yeah, and there's no guarantees, and I'm glad you put it that way, because we're selling out hopefully like this is a state championship, because there's going to be a lot of people pay a lot of money to come in and see this ball game. I think they want to see us give a great effort, and if we give a great effort, we got a great chance of winning.
Good luck to you Saturday, Coach. We'll talk to you next week regardless.
Sounds great.
Aces coach John Hart. For our special guest tonight and host, Norm, I'm Rob Blackman saying good night for John Hart. What did I forget?
I had a question.
Okay.
Can we get Norm back over?
Yeah, Norm, if you don't mind sliding back over here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Norm, how you doing?
I'm doing fine again.
Good. My question.
Yes.
Put you on the spot. The best team ever.
That is tough. I don't know. I've seen so many. That is tough. Like you asked me one year, who's the best quarterback I've ever seen? That was tough. I don't know.
You got to give an answer. We're gonna put you on the spot, aren't we?
61.
1960 was that the team you played on?
That's right.
Good. I thought he'd say good job.
61. That's when it happened. Folks, we're about to say goodnight. The Lou Tepper Show is next, followed by Lady Warrior Volleyball. Tonight, the Warriors versus Shawnee. Yeah. Lou talks about that disappointing loss to Northwestern in the waning seconds.
Blue Lou.
He's blue now. Hey, thanks for joining us. We'll see you again next Thursday night. Good night, everybody.
Some say that one of the hardest things for us to do is admit we were wrong and to say, I'm sorry. Now, that may be true, but in many cases it is just as hard for us to respond and say, thank you, I forgive you. Today we're going to discuss the difficult topic of how to forgive and forget. Coming up next here on Main Street. Welcome to On Main Street. I'm your host, Dale Meyer. Today we're going to talk about forgiveness. It's a word that's used a lot, especially in churches, but elsewhere too. However, I'm not so sure that a lot of people really have a grasp of forgiveness and its power. With me today is Robert McGee. Now, he knows the power of forgiveness. He's co-author of a new book about forgiveness entitled The Search for Peace. Joining us in the studio are panelists Susan Smith, Mary Clark, and Judy Griffin. Each one of them has a story to share with you about the difficulty and the power of forgiveness. But first, let's hear what some other people had to say when we went on the street and asked this question: how do you get forgiveness?
We ask the Lord to forgive us, and we remember what He did for us through Jesus. He died on the cross, and we were forgiven all our sins and everything else. That's awesome.
Forgiveness is a gift from Christ, but we become forgiven by accepting that forgiveness.
You have to forgive someone in order to gain forgiveness.
We're forgiven through Jesus Christ.
We are sanctified in the blood of Jesus.
We're saved by grace, and by grace we're sanctified.
There's a lot of talk there about Jesus and God, and that's all true. But let's start at a very human level, talking about how human beings deal with other human beings in forgiveness. And let's, if we can, set God aside for the moment. No offense, Lord. Susan, would you tell about your experience with forgiveness?
Well, the thing that got me was I ended up committing a crime and ended up doing 2 years in one of our Missouri women's prisons. And I think the hardest part was my family stuck by me and forgave me. The hardest part was trying to forgive myself.
Trying to forgive yourself. Now,
right.
Have you done that? Are you still working on that?
I've forgiven myself now. I haven't forgot, but I have forgiven.
Okay, but so for you, it was just forgiving yourself was the most difficult thing. Mary, please tell us your own personal struggle with forgiveness.
Okay. Well, I was raised in an alcoholic, dysfunctional home, and so there was abuse in the childhood. I later married, and I, of course, became an alcoholic myself and married one. And during that marriage, my husband had affairs. I was betrayed. So I didn't know Jesus at the time. It was after that marriage that I learned about Him and His forgiveness.
So you learned about Him and His forgiveness, and again, that's fine, but what about your husband? What about the family that you grew up in?
Mm-hmm.
Were you able to forgive them?
Well, yes, I was able to, but it took, along with the Bible studies, it took counseling. It took going back into the past, because so much of what had happened was not really in my conscious mind, but was operating on a subconscious
level. Were you
level.
able to forgive your mother?
Oh, yes, I was. And I would only go back under the spirit of forgiveness.
Okay, what did you forgive her specifically for?
For my mother?
Yeah, and we're not talking about just generic, yeah, I forgive you for whatever, but we're targeted forgiveness for hurts that you received. What did you forgive your mother for?
For abandoning our family.
Okay, that's sizable. Judy, tell us about your experiences with forgiveness.
After 30 years of marriage, my husband left me, and he was an alcoholic, and I came from a little background like she did. And I was brought up in the church, and the Lord had been an important part of my life all my life. That's all I ever had was the church and my relationship with God. And after the marriage fell apart, I didn't like God anymore, and I didn't like myself, and I didn't like my husband.
And obviously you weren't going to forgive your husband at that point.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly, and I grew to hate him.
Okay.
And it destroyed me for a while.
Okay, but you came out of this. Have you forgiven your ex-husband now?
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Okay, and he is your ex-husband?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, he is. He ended up leaving me because of my heritage and my Christianity and my religion. It didn't allow me to get a divorce. I wouldn't allow myself to do that.
And so you were in that marriage for a long time,
right.
just building up the seeds of what came out later.
Right.
Robert, you're our expert in forgiveness. What is forgiveness?
Well, Jesus referred to it as though it were a debt, a financial debt. In Matthew 18, it talks about a man who owed a king a huge amount of money, and the king forgave that debt. In other words, he wrote it off. And so if we could understand, if I owed you money and you forgave that debt, then you would not expect me to pay you again. In fact, perhaps you would just dismiss it, and it would be something in the history, and you wouldn't relate to me as though I owed you anything.
Okay, so moving it out of the financial imagery, what is forgiveness? What does it mean for one person to forgive another?
So if I choose to forgive you, then that means that I put that in the past. I determine that I'm not going to expect you to pay for what you have done. I'm not going to expect you to somehow make it right. It's past.
Okay,
it's
but
done.
does that mean that we're condoning what was done wrong, an abusive situation, a cheating husband, whatever?
No, that's very important, because many people who deal with this subject have grown up in homes which are dysfunctional, and they believe that if I forgive, does that mean it didn't hurt? Does it mean it was okay? I was told I wasn't important, so does forgiveness mean that I'm not important? And the answer to those are no, right? Does forgiveness mean that I necessarily have to even invite you over for lunch? You know, do I have to have anything to do with it? The answer is no.
Okay, so forgiveness is a debt that has been set aside. We're willing to put all this stuff behind us, but that does not mean that we condone what has happened. I'm hearing you right?
Yeah, it doesn't mean I excuse it, which is a big thing we do. We say, I forgive her because of her background. Well, see, that's not holding her accountable for what she did. It's not really even dealing with what she did.
That's important. Forgiveness is not a number of things. And we're going to continue on this topic of forgiveness. One of the questions that I've got is, are some sins, some conducts unforgivable? And we're going to answer that when we come back here on Main Street. We'd love to hear from you, so send us a letter to On Main Street, 2185 Hampton Avenue, St. Louis, Missouri, 63139, or visit us on the World Wide Web.
Being together with your family is a simple way to show your love. These times of sharing become memories you'll always treasure. A message from the Lutheran Church Missouri Synod and your friends at Lutheran Hour Ministries.
Guess what happened in school today, Daddy?
What?
Lisa's mom taught our class.
I didn't know she was a teacher.
She's not. She's a junior achievement volunteer.
Junior achievement is for high school kids.
Lisa's mom said it's all grades now. Today I learned that if I stay in school, I can be anything I want to be, even a TV star.
Whoa.
Hey, why don't you volunteer?
What?
Lots of parents do. Just call Junior Achievement.
Share your experience with America's future. Call 1-800-THE-NEW-JA.
What's the use? They don't care anyway.
If you're in trouble, if you're feeling too close to the edge, there is an answer.
I heard about something.
Boys Town Hotline. They have ways to help.
You can call anytime for free. The number is 1-800-448-3000.
Call the Boys Town National Hotline.
Hey, Billy boy, saw your picture in the paper yesterday. Coming down the ladder, carrying twins in one arm. Just another day's work. Modest guy.
Hey, I've saved lives too, you know. Lots of them.
You?
Me.
How do you save lives?
I donate blood. It's safe, easy, and only takes a few minutes to be a real hero.
You can help save a life. Call your community blood center or hospital and make an appointment to give blood. It's one of the most important things you'll ever do.
Are some things, certain acts or behaviors, sins that are unforgivable? Here's what we heard when we went on the street.
Blaspheming the Lord. That's the only thing that you can't be forgiven for.
Sexual crimes and maybe homosexuality. I think those are two things that I would find unforgivable if someone doesn't want to make a commitment to change in their life.
You can forgive everyone for anything.
I would have to say just not accepting the gift, not accepting Christ.
I feel that if you kill yourself, you ain't in a position to forgive yourself or ask forgiveness.
Christian can't do anything that God can't forgive you for.
Nothing. As long as you go to Jesus and ask him for forgiveness and repent.
You know, let me say up front here that the Bible does talk about a sin that is not forgivable. Matthew chapter 12 is one of the places where Jesus talks about a sin against the Holy Ghost or the Holy Spirit. And it appears that what that is a person who has seen a demonstration of God's power, knows it is truly God's power, and not only rejects it, but blasphemes it. And I was always taught that a person who is concerned about their salvation doesn't have to worry they're not guilty of this sin. I say that now because I don't want to get hung up in this thing called the sin against the Holy Spirit. We want to talk about forgiving and receiving forgiveness from one another. So having set that special case aside, is there an unforgivable sin? We heard the street talk. What do you all say? Anybody jump in, Judy?
As a human, there's a bunch of them, okay? And I used them all in the divorce situation. And I at adultery would have been when you're the one that it's happened to. But as a Christian, no, there isn't. But it took me a time to work through that.
Okay, so it depends. In one state of mind, I will not forgive this.
Right.
And then you work through the process, and this is a process, and you came to see that there is no unforgivable sin. Mary, Susan?
I kind of agree with Judy. That was one of the things that I thought also was that, you know, I can't forgive myself. How can anyone, you know, forgive me for what I've done and the hurt I caused my family and myself? And it was just kind of like, and then I had been brought up in a religious background my whole life, and as an adult, I kind of drifted away. And then when I went to prison, I know people say, what is it, prison religion or something, but I got back involved in my religion and my faith. And
you came to see that there's forgiveness for all, from God at least. Now, Mary, is your experience similar?
Well, I would just say that I agree with pretty much what you said earlier, in that Jesus Christ, this is my personal humble opinion, he paid all of my sin debt.
Okay, Robert, would you talk about this? Because, and maybe it's just my impression, but more and more on the media, you know, you hear people saying, well, this is unforgivable, that's unforgivable. And a great case in point is the Holocaust. You know, how could anybody ever forgive those people for what they did? Could you talk about this?
Well, if what we're saying is that God's power and his ability to give us that power is good for the little sins, right? But when people really offend us, it doesn't get up to that place. Then that leaves us in a real lurch, because that means we're going to hold those offenses all our life. But the fact of the matter is that Jesus' death paid for all sins. And that's...
And you say all, you mean all.
Well, I mean, we have to honor what he says that he did and honor what his death and his sacrifice. And he says it covered all sins.
Okay, does a person have to apologize? Let me ask you that. You know, I'll forgive, Judy. I'll forgive my ex-husband when he apologizes and eats crow and said he did wrong. Does a person have to apologize?
Not in my case, they didn't.
Okay,
No,
you want to tell us about your case?
When I committed my crime, it was more so against myself. It was a place where I was working, and I apologized to them for, you know, because I stole some money from where I worked to get my daughter's medicine. And anyway, that I apologized to them, but I didn't feel like, that they had to,
They didn't have to
accept it or apologize.
Apologize to you. Mary,
right.
Was it a prerequisite of forgiving your mother that she would come and apologize to you? What if she had not?
No, that was not a prerequisite. I believe that is the case sometimes, that yes, you may only have to forgive the person if they ask your forgiveness, but I also know that there is such a thing as a blanket forgiveness also.
Well, I think that if you say, I'm not going to forgive so-and-so until they have asked for it, that leaves them in power. That means I've got to carry this offense with me until they do something. Now this person...
Judy's reacting here.
But I love that because that's what I did, and he had power over my life because I was waiting for him to say, I am so sorry that I had affairs, or that I'm an alcoholic, or I abused you. I waited for a couple years for that, and it still hasn't happened.
Well, and that person may not care about you, or they may not like you. They might even like the fact that you're having to carry that. They may be dead. So if what you've said is, I'm not going to forgive until they've asked for forgiveness, that means you get it. You get to carry it until they do something. Well, that's a very hard way of living life.
Now, would it be true then that when that person comes and apologizes, the power is transferred to you and you've got the upper hand? As you're waiting for them to gravel, now I have the power to forgive or not forgive?
We'd like to have that power. We'd like to do more than have that power. We'd like to hurt them, actually.
Okay. We'd like to have yes.
So we're saying here that your apology, while it's welcome, is not a prerequisite to forgiveness. Now let Bob, Robert, do you go by Bob at all?
No.
Okay, he doesn't. Robert, in your book, The Search for Peace, you had an interesting line. I have spoken to many Christians who have felt put down and condemned as if they were complete failures. But I have never met a person who practiced forgiveness and still harbored anger, hatred, and bitterness toward others. How do you all react to that?
May I say something?
Yeah, Mary, please.
In line with what Robert was saying about the other person carrying the power. You see, if somebody has hurt me, and just say that's a sick person, okay, not making excuses for them, but that they are a sick, unhappy person, because healthy, happy people don't go around hurting other people. But so say somebody hurts me one time and they go on about their business, and I'm still standing there with this resentment, and I'm replaying it over in my mind, what they did to me. Mm-hmm. And every time I do that, they get a little bit badder and I get a little bit more gooder until...
And it becomes like a pathology. You're keeping this thing going. When we come back to our next segment, we're going to find out, does forgiveness really work? And is Robert's statement that he's never met somebody who forgives, who harbors these grudges and anger, is that really true? Stay with us right here on Main Street.
Sometimes we disagree, you and me. And even though we come and go, no matter what, we're still a family.
It's not always easy being a family. Everyone has different ideas, different opinions, but if you learn to give a little, you get a whole lot in return.
No matter what, we're still a family.
A message from the Lutheran Church, Missouri Synod, and your friends at Lutheran Hour Ministries.
Endangered species? I've got a business to run.
Well, that wax he's using comes from the carnauba plant. And simple seaweeds benefit all kinds of businesses with ingredients for paints, fire extinguishers, and hundreds of foods. Fact is, there's something in nature for everyone. With countless species in jeopardy and more than 100 becoming extinct every day, can we really afford not to protect them? To learn more, call the National Wildlife Federation at 1-800-824-WILD.
Rwanda, Bosnia, Somalia, the tragedies never stop. You might feel overwhelmed and hopeless. They call it compassion burnout. Don't give in. Keep your compassion alive. It's easy to provide real help through international service agencies, ISA, a federation of premier relief organizations. Contribute through your workplace campaign or call 1-800-638-8079 for information.
Here are some ways to protect children from scalding burns. Before you put your baby into bath water, test the temperature with your hand or elbow. If you can control your water heater, turn it down to 120 degrees or less. Teach your children always to run the cold water first, then add the hot water until it stays comfortably warm. Turn the handles of pots and pans inward so children can't pull them off the stove and onto themselves. A safety message from the Will Rogers Institute, White Plains, New York.
Welcome back to On Main Street. I'm Dale Meyer. Today we're talking with Robert McGee, co-author of Search for Peace, and our topic is forgiveness. Some people say, oh, I can forgive you, but I'll never forget. Is that true forgiveness? How can we forgive and forget? Here's what we heard on the street.
You can forgive somebody, but it's hard to forget what they've actually done to you if they've really hurt you, but it can be done with God's help.
You have to bring it to God. You pretty much have to surrender the issue.
Follow the example of Jesus, because he forgave.
If you're really making an effort to forgive and forget, he will help you.
Robert, let's pick up with that quotation that caught my interest when I was reading your book. You said you've never met somebody who forgave, who hangs on to angerness and rage and so on. Talk about that.
Well, not real forgiveness. I mean, Jesus in Matthew talks about forgiving from your heart. Forgiving from your head's pretty easy, but from your heart's another thing.
Okay.
And there are two types of Christians that I've found. Those who live in their own forgiveness from the Lord. And they know that, they experience it, and therefore when others offend them, they are so impressed by their own forgiveness, they have that reservoir in their heart so they can forgive the other person.
So this is not just a human thing, but to get the power to forgive. Mary, to get the power to forgive your mother came from, ultimately,
From God.
From God.
Mm-hmm.
Is that how you found it, Judy? Well, go ahead, Mary.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, because I knew that he would forgive her if she asked, and if God's going to forgive them, dare I do less.
Okay. Did you work that through day by day? Was there a process to that thing?
Yes, and there was also, I had to more or less reprogram my thinking so that anytime the old habit would play in my head about what Mother had done, to stop that tape and go, but I chose to forgive her for that.
This is interesting because when you go to church, do we sometimes get the idea that we hear that we're forgiven and it's supposed to be a quick fix? Anybody? Robert, do some people have the quick fix attitude?
Well, it's the same as the praying for all the missionaries around the world, I mean, everything in Christianity we'd like to be quick, because we don't have to slog through the dealing with God over these issues, because it's painful to deal with these issues.
If God forgives us, okay, God does forgive us, how does that relate to forgiving yourself? Susan, pick up on that some more. You said you struggle with forgiving yourself. God forgives you. What's the issue then?
I think to me the issue was just that, having commit this crime, knowing it was wrong when I done it, and just pushed to the edge that I had got pushed to, that it was just so much against my morals and upbringing that I just could not bring myself to forgive myself for a long time. And then after I had been in prison and got into some self-help groups and got real involved with things, and I mean, I'm now a social worker out here in the streets in St. Louis, and working in prison ministry, and it's just helped me to forgive myself for what I done. I won't forget everything that happened, but that's...
Thank you for bringing that up. We've got a booklet for you entitled How to Forgive and Forget, and we certainly hope that when the program's over, you'll call in and ask for it. But I got to tell you, forgiving is tough, and you're saying you really didn't forget, couldn't forget. Talk about that.
Well, it's not so much the forgetting. I've forgotten, like, every little minute thing that happened, but I haven't forgotten being in prison, and I don't want to forget that, and I hope that I can keep my daughter from, and help other people out here on the streets to know what to do and not have to do that.
Okay, Judy, have you forgotten
No. And because I've turned it around to a positive thing. I liked what you said about the heart. And as a Christian, I did my thing and forgave him, but I couldn't forget it. So with God's help, and it took a long time for that forgetting kind of thing, but no, because now, you know what, I can help other people. You know, I know what they're feeling, and I know their pain, and I know that, so I don't, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't want to forget some of that because it's turned me into a more understanding, forgiving person.
Okay, I need this explained to me a little bit. There's a beautiful passage in Isaiah that God forgets. He remembers our sins no more because of what Jesus did. But what are we supposed to forget and what not to forget? You know, I think I'd have to have a lobotomy to forget some of the things that have happened to me.
Well, the forgetting part is not that we don't recall the event. There are many things we recall in our lives, but they don't have that emotion of the moment that when we experienced that event. And so for us to, but when you were abused by your husband, there was more than what was done there. There was a message applied to you, and you accepted that message. And as long as you carry that negative, hurtful, destructive message, as long as you don't deal with that message, then the emotions of that event you'll carry with you, and they'll chain along to the events of the moment. That's the reason why we respond at a 10 when we probably should respond at an event in the moment at about a 3.
Okay, Mary, how do you remember past events now with your mother? And you've forgiven her and everything is fine that way. How do you remember those past events?
Well, they seldom ever come to mind anymore, and I know that they've been removed from the subconscious also, that my heart is filled with love for my mother. And one of the blessings that came out of the forgiveness was that she came to know the Lord Jesus Christ.
She came to know Jesus, and I know that your mother just passed away recently, yes. And so you've got a good feeling about this. I'll tell you, life is tough today. Forgiveness really is God's practical way to go. Holding grudges, seeking revenge for wrongs, these things do so much damage to our relationships and to our own peace of mind. One of the things that Jesus taught us is that our forgiving attitude toward others does not come from within ourselves, but it flows from the forgiveness that God pours upon us. It's hard for us to remember sometimes, but I certainly hope that today's program gave you some nuggets to hold on to and furthered your desire to dig into the peace of God's forgiveness and developing your own personal forgiveness attitude. Thanks so much for joining us here